Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. How are we doing today, chat? Hopefully you're doing well. A little bit late today. I had some things to do. I was planning to double dip as well tonight, which I think I'm still looking to do. I was going to play some Dragon Sword, but I've just gone on Steam, and it's saying like 11 hours till it comes out, so it's obviously going to be a midnight launch, so I guess get fucked, bucko. So, yeah, we'll probably just play some Enfield later. That's the plan anyway. So, you know. It is what it is. Maybe we'll check out... Maybe we'll check out some Dragon Sword tomorrow, because I am thinking about grabbing it. So, yeah. How are we, chat? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see ya. Hope everybody's doing well on this fine day. Let me just get chat up here, because I've lost you. I've lost your chat. You gone? Man, I've got so many tabs open. Let me get rid of some of those. So, today, we're hopping on to the Warp Express, which I'm excited about, because, I like this sort of stuff when we start doing these, you know, this world building through the story, you know, obviously getting to the Great Lakes, stuff like that. So, I'm kind of, looking forward to this. We're going to do the mini first as well, and then we'll jump into the Intervallo. But, yeah, welcome. For some reason as well, it wouldn't update my thumbnail earlier, so it had the old thumbnail on the stream, so hopefully that's all updated now. But welcome to the stream. Yeah, what's going on, Cat Crafters? The Egg Dog God. Choco, welcome. Hello. Zero, welcome to the stream. Yo, Ken, what's up, bucko? Flix, welcome to the stream. Keo, welcome. Canis, welcome. Hello. This doesn't look like Enfield. What do you mean, Duck Lord? I've got early access to 1.5, man. That's what it is. What it is, bro. I'm ready for the 10-second train. Dandy, welcome to the stream. Sanrelic, welcome. Sloth, welcome to the stream. Rosandru, welcome some Mao. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Appreciate ya. Yo, Kill Camp, what's up? So, yeah, I think that's the idea for today, at least, anyway. Obviously, depending on what time I get back. But I was really enjoying 1.4 of Enfield. I think it's, once again, a really positive direction for the game. Each patch just gets better and better. Very reminiscent, I guess, of Arknights, where the game just launched and got better and better. So I'm looking forward to see what's coming, and I can't wait to play more of the patch. As I say, I wanted to check out Dragon Sword later, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be like a midnight launch for me, I guess, roundabout. Which is like, bro, yeah. Oh, sucks. So I guess I'll play it tomorrow, maybe. Yo, Casual, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Lol, welcome. You're gonna hold real game when you're done this get good heal ego. Right, okay. What's Dragon Sword? Well, apparently, like, it's a I don't know if it's like a spiritual successor to Dragon's Nest. I never played that. But this was gonna be a gacha game initially, but they decided to switch to a box price. So I don't know. It's kind of like, take a little bit of, when I look at it visually, it's sort of like a bit of Genshin and a bit of Grand Blue Fantasy Reeling kind of together. So, yeah, I think it's 30 bucks. So, I don't know if it's going to be 30 quid for me or like 25. So, I thought, you know what, let's check it out, see what it's saying, see if a game can actually go from being originally a gacha to not being a gacha and be good. Right, because I think I'm going to I made a video yesterday, chat, okay, but I think I need to re-record it, because I ended up ranting for like 25 minutes about how people are starting to care more about the gacha in gacha games over the game, and I did speak on, like, you know, Duet 9 to Beast removing the gacha didn't make the game better, you know, Limbus Company having probably one of the most free-to-play gacha systems doesn't make it a better game. It makes it better monetized, but it doesn't make it a better game. The game makes it a better game, right? So I think I might re-record it, because we'll probably rant a bit, but try and squeeze it down into like a 10 to 12 minute rant instead of like a 25-minute rant. We'll see. I might just upload it if I might not be able to be arsed, really, so we might just, you know, we'll see. They went the DNA route. Well, no, because it's like, it's just a box price game. I don't know if they're going to go the Grand Blue Fantasy route and then just have like some paid expansions in the future. Do you know what I mean? I think that might be their business model. at a guess, or they just launch this and it doesn't do very well, and that's it. It's just a box price game. I'm interested to see, like, because like looking at it, the combat and stuff, I'm like, it looks cool, right? I'm just curious to see if it suffers the same things that DNA suffered, because obviously DNA suffered the problem of it was always going to be a gacha game, and they gutted the gacha at the last second, and it still had all the overhanging like gameplay, issues that can come with gacha games a lot of the time. So really, it was in a gacha game in essence, apart from you just couldn't pull the characters. Do you know what I mean? So I'm curious to see if they managed to like actually drop all that. Because that's a big thing I was talking about in my video as well that I made. That to me, when it comes to gacha games, most of the gacha games I've played, if somebody came to me and was like, I don't know, what's like the top 3 or 5 things you'd change in this game? I don't think any gacha game it's ever been the number one thing would change the gacha. It's usually been gameplay systems. And I just think we accept so many poor gameplay systems in this genre, but we'll rave and be like, well, there's pity carryover, so it's goated, Tonkers, what's going on? Welcome. The curse of gacha games can't be compared to actual games. Yeah, I was going to title it like something like, have we stopped caring about the game in gacha games or something like that? Honestly, if Enfield sold itself as a buy-to-play game and just released bigger DLCs and character story updates every few months, it would still work as a game. I don't know, like, for me, I'll be honest, I like Enfield, right? But when it comes to, like, gameplay systems, like the way you level characters, the way you farm for materials, the way you do that sort of stuff, for me, if you're gonna get rid of gacha, you need to get rid of that as well. Do you know what I mean? The same thing of level 20, breakthrough, level 40, breakthrough, level 60, breakthrough. I farm certain instances for the same mats, and I go and pick the others to do the same thing for every single character. I think if you're going to get rid of gacha, I'd like to see those things. That's what I want to. I want to see the next big action gacha game do that, rather than be like, hey guys, look what we've done. We've dropped the 50-50, and everybody's like, oh my god, this is going to be the best gacha game ever. I would like to see a gacha game come along, because you know what? In terms of the action space, and go, we're going to make you want to get characters here, but it's not going to be rotation slop. The end game's not going to be timer slop. We're dropping the typical way you build a character. You're not going to be farming these boring instances for 30 seconds to just continually repeat in an attempt to get like some gear and RNG stats or whatever it might be. You know what I mean? I'd like to see some evolution on the gameplay side of things for me. Like, I think at the moment, when people talk about evolution in the gacha space, all they think about is how does the gacha monetization get more consumer friendly, which is a good fight to fight. Honestly, I'm with you. I want monetization to get better in all games, but I would rather the experience be better, because most of the time for most gacha games, now it does intrude to some degree, but the gacha itself never really affects my enjoyment of the game. I usually get burnt out on a gacha game from systems long before I ever get tired of the gacha. Like, I didn't stop playing Wuthering Waves because I couldn't get majority of the signature weapons without spending. I got burnt out on Wuthering Waves because I found the events boring, and building characters was tedious, and the end game was uninteresting. Do you know what I mean? Like, they could have like really changed the gacha and it wouldn't have brought me back. So like, yeah, for me, I think a more important conversation in the space at the minute is like, let's get some evolution in the space in terms of gameplay loops and systems. You know what I mean? Dragon Sword demo was rather good, and I bet you will be surprised with some stuff, but don't get your hopes up too much. Yeah, I'm just looking at it as like a sort of I don't know, maybe a B-Tech Grand Blue Fantasy or something, but just a little bit more modern in terms of like how it feels, I guess. Addicts are never satisfied even if they get exactly what they wanted. The game is secondary to the... Yeah, I think so, like, because the reason I started this video yesterday is I started watching one of VXV's videos, and honestly, the video is no shade towards him at all, because he made like a point that I think is lost on a lot of gacha games now, because he was talking about, when a new gacha game comes out and it's an exciting time and you're gonna find this new story and world and themes and all this sort of stuff, and I was like, I agree. But then when you go to like the conversations around Enfield before it came out, and Silver Palace before it's come out, and I'm sure Azure Familiar before it comes out, it's not about the game systems or the themes or is it actually a good game. It's like, oh shit, pity doesn't carry over. There's a spark. Nah, game's trash. It's probably not gonna do very well. I don't even know if I'm gonna play it anymore. And I'm like, honestly, I respect people who can draw a line in the sand over monetization systems. You know, people who are like, refuse to play live service, not touching gacha. I don't even play games that got microtransactions, which nowadays is really hard to do even in single player games. But I respect that. But I just think if a game, I don't know, having Enfield system compared to Wuthering Waves systems, let's say, and you go, yeah, I'm not playing the game now. I'm like, in the gacha space, I feel like you're going to miss out on a lot of potentially good games over the monetization system being a little bit more to your liking, if that makes sense. Which is, again, I think a fair thing for the individual to do. But just for me, it's a less important conversation to have than the game itself. Because it doesn't matter to me how good a gacha system is in a game if the game's ass. Like, perfect example is Duet 9 Abyss, right? Remove the gacha system altogether. So when you think about it, you can get all the characters, it's all cosmetics. Didn't make the game better. It just didn't make the game better, right? You know? And when you look at Limbus Company, it's got a really good gacha system, right? Pretty much anti-gacha in a sense, because you can shard everything. But that being said, for me, that's not what makes Limbus good. Like, Limbus could have Arknight's system. You know, like, Arknight's has got a rough gacha system, right? It's a game that's very generous, but its gacha system itself, specifically systems, are not the best, by far, right? It doesn't make the game any worse, because the game's just really good, and it gives you options as well. So it is about balance, but I think in this space sometimes we care less about the game and more about arguing which system is better monetarily, and I just find it uninteresting. I've had a video from Trail CC having played Dragon Sword earlier and put it in React. I did watch a video from somebody earlier actually, where they was telling you which characters you might want to get. How long's this video? Maybe I might watch it later. I feel like some players play gacha just to gamba. I agree. I do. I agree as well. I think... Look, this is probably a hot take. I genuinely believe... It's not everybody. And of course, some people are here because this is... Because the thing for me, the monetization of gacha games, it's predatory, right? But it allows for almost AAA-like sort of production rapidly rolled out with insane set pieces, voice acting, content, right? I think if you went to a cosmetic-based system, you'd lose a lot of that for 99.9% of the games because they just wouldn't be profitable. But that being said, I honestly think as well, for a lot of people, you know, if you took the gacha out of a lot of these games, because one, obviously the patch format had changed drastically, I think a lot of people would bounce. Do you know what I mean? I honestly think a lot of people would bounce. I do think people are genuinely here to collect characters and do so through gacha, where if they were able to just obtain them in-game, they'd lose that endorphin rush that they get from gacha. I honestly do believe that. I know, casual, yeah. Like, I don't even know how accurate these I've seen some images that I think that the latest system we've got now is at least what we're getting in this next test. Which, if it is, it's kind of like Enfield's. But better in, I suppose, in some degrees, but worse in the sense that it looks like weapon banners are going to be separate, like a traditional weapon banner. But the gacha itself is going to be like Enfield's, just you spark in 20 less. So it's like, it's not the worst system in the world or the best system. But at the end of the day, I'm more interested in is the game good? You know what I mean? And again, they're fair discussions to have. I'm not here trying to tell people to not have the discussions. I just think we focus too heavily on specific things in the West that matter less than the game being good itself. Because I think to a degree, we're sort of beyond the pale in the gacha space of our arguments are not really going to change much, massively at least. Like, we got angry about horse armor. 20 years later, We've got ships selling in video games for thousands of pounds. You know? And that's not to say you shouldn't speak up about bad practices from company. I'm not saying that. I just think sometimes we focus a little bit too heavily on stuff that really doesn't matter so much. Technically, Limbus does have a cosmetic system. You can use shards for facades. To be honest, I mean, I did say I'd rather Gacha to go back to 2D because so far, more often than not, 3D ones are extremely low quality to me and have no substance compared to the 2Ds. Well, that's definitely a subjective thing, right? And if that's how you feel, for me, the two best Gachas in the space are non-3D ones. It's Limbus and Arknights, right? I do really like Enfield. And I did really like Honkai Star Rail, and I really liked Wuthering Waves, and I do like Zenless Zone Zero, and I had a blast with Genshin as well, so I'm a little bit different in that regard. I just want to see some company break away from Hoyo's model. Not that I'm not that guy. Hoyo's model isn't the devil, right? I want to see some evolution on the game side of things, rather than a demand for evolution on the monetization side of things. Do you know what I mean? One of the reasons the cosmetic system wouldn't do as well is because of the whales. They wouldn't have to spend as much to get what they want. Exactly. And let's face it, how many games have you played that are cosmetic only and never spent a penny? Unless it's something you really, really love. And there's going to be a large amount of people who are like, if I don't ever have to spend a penny, I'm never spending a penny. Like, some companies can really do well off cosmetic only, but it's kind of like, that's kind of reserved for the gigantic games, isn't it? In this space, I think, you know, most companies can't succeed at it, or at least they can't succeed at rolling out content at the rate gacha games do. All right, then, let me, all right, there we go. I can switch scenes now. All right, cool. Where Winds Meet did very good with cosmetics only. I know, yeah, I think it has done well, hasn't he? And again, it's not unheard of, right? It's not unheard of. But, yeah, I'd be interested to see how much money it's making in comparison. Because that's a game that's gone quiet in the West, right? Do you know what I mean? Do you know, honestly, you know, if Where Winds Meet had character gacha, I bet you it'd do better in the West. I know that sounds mental. I believe it. I honestly believe it. I honestly believe it, man. I do. It might be a crazy thing to say, but I do, man. Yeah, Star Citizen's insane, right? Yeah, I'm looking forward to Silver Palace as well. Casual. And seeing the new leaks, I guess, or the info around the gacha system doesn't change my mind at all. When you're in this space, you know that the games are here to try and bait you into spending money, aren't they? That's what they're here to do. Now, I suppose Limbus is kind of unique in that regard, that they seem to hate money. But for the most part, and even Limbus is here to bait you, right? You know, dropping banners before Walpurgises and all that sort of stuff. You know what they're doing, right? They're all here to get you to spend money, aren't they? It's just, like, I go back to Mr. Pokey got mean for this, the greedy and stupid thing. It's honestly true, right? You know, you can work. I love this now. This is so fucking cool, isn't it? I love this. You can work the systems to your advantage, can't you? In the gacha space. It's just about doing that, right? And I think people want systems that allow them to just splurge and give in to their impulses. I do. I honestly do. I honestly do. Greedy and stupid age like fine wine have 800 pulls and do that. I agree. It's the same with Enfield, right? Perfect example. Like, I keep hearing people say, whoa, they use it as an argument against the Enfield system. Well, they say just save 120 pulls. But what if you get 219, then you just lose the character? It's like, well, yeah, because you should have saved 120 pulls if you really want to. Now, you can risk it, but you can spend less pulls if you're smart with things, right? Just like every gacha system. Every gacha system's the same. If you save pulls, you can guarantee yourself characters, right? And if you've got the ability to skip banners as a free-to-play player, you can have a great time as a free-to-play player, right? It's just that most people, and I'm included, I have bad impulse control sometimes. Every banner that comes along, I'm like, go on then. Let's throw 40 or 50 pulls at it. Why not? Do you know? And you run the gauntlet, right, of maybe not coming out with anything. Because you can potentially lose out on all of these games if you never hit pity, right? That pity might carry over. Or who cares about the next banner if you wanted this banner? You know, you got to be a little bit savvy sometimes, haven't you? It is, isn't it? Sloth, it really is. Okay, then, so we've got a familiar siren, and then we're going into Murder on the Warp Express as well. I have 12 hours left to just do this last little bit, which we'll be able to do that. So we'll have completed the Encathalon event, which I'm happy about. Rush's schedule, same difference. Fraction Railway 2, Bobcat was super late. Kanto turned out to be delayed because KGH got ambitious again this time. Yeah, I like that they're... Again, for me, this is where I say, I think Limbus is a bit of a passion project, right? They're willing to delay things like that, where a lot of gacha companies usually aren't. Usually when it comes to delaying, it's because there's problems rather than we want to make this perfect. Because I think Snowbreak's just had another indefinite suspension on the next amount of content, yeah. Which is... I think Snowbreak's going to be gone soon. This weird cognitive dissonance where they expect to get everything every time they pull because we don't understand. Exactly, yeah. I think there is a bit of that. Yeah, I was joking around in my video. It's like going into Mackie D's and being like, you know, can I have a Big Mac meal? And they're like, yeah. All right, then that's whatever, 7 or 8 quid. And you're like, bro, I'm free to play, man. I've been grinding now. Like, what the fuck's this all about? It's like, that'd be lovely. But it's not the case, right? I mean, KGH didn't really want to delay. Sometimes you just have to, though, right? He said drop it without no voice acting. I'm glad they decided not to do that then, because I think we can all agree a massive positive of this game is the voice acting, right? It's insane, isn't it? Definitely one of the best Intervallos. I'm looking forward to it because the last one was my favourite. Yeah, I'm happy that's been delayed then. Somebody who's not caught up as well, so it's even better for me. Okay then. So we're in our office with Heath, yeah. Right, I think we can conclude our consultation session here. I've been holding regular consultations with the sinners for a while now. We've been getting to know them, have we? My session with Heathcliff ended earlier than I expected. So, what are you writing in that notebook?
이거? 그냥 뭐라도 적어두면 나중에 기억하기 편하지 않을까 싶어서.
I need to do that. I forgot I got middle Mersault. Didn't you see on my video? I was like, I need to get middle Mersault. And I was like, wait a minute. I've got him. What am I talking about? I'm just happy he broached the subject and asked us if he wanted to. Yeah, again, that's why I say, that's why it cries passion project to me, easy. It's somebody who's creating something they love and understands there's a connection with a fan base that loves it and is like working with them. You know, like, I know companies, devs listened. They don't really most of the time, unless there's backlash, right? That's genuine interaction. We can do this and it's going to be a 7, or we can do this and it's going to be a 10. What would you guys like? You know, the 10's going to mean we got a cookabee. I like that, I do. That's genuine devs listened, right? Like, you know, actually genuinely. Heathcliff's been holding that notebook in his hands ever since this session started. It didn't seem like he was making a full record of our entire conversation. It was more like he was writing things down if they seemed worthy of remembering. Are you writing about Catherine?
그런 것도 있고.
Oh, poor bro. Well, this might be good for my video, actually. A little addendum, like a little addition. His expression becomes inscrutably complex upon hearing her name. He breathes in a lungful of air and lets out a deep sigh. He smiles awkwardly before sliding his notebook across the desk in my direction. I take a quick glance at the pages. Its contents are as disorganized and chaotic as his handwriting. But I also notice that several of those disorganized notes are records of his memories with Catherine. scribbled next to notes of significant moments in our journey, records of memories he doesn't want to lose. Oh, that's cute, man. Poor Heath, man. Poor Heath.
별거 없어. 아무튼 끝났으면 간다.
Heathcliff takes the notebook and leaves the room. I catch a glimpse of his bitter expression as he steps through the doorway. It isn't long before Roger practically bursts through the door.
캐스가 나가는 거 보고 바로 들어왔는데 일찍 끝났네?
Yeah, we didn't really talk about much.
뭔지는 모르겠지만 요즘 들어 히스가 얌전해진 것 같네.
Well, I'm not complaining. Why don't you take a seat, Roger? Is this are we giving him therapy sessions? Is that what we're doing here? Gonna try and shard ring files for my ring hunger or hinky skincare. Which is strange after seeing how votes impact the schedule in real time. Yeah, it's cool, that is. It's actually cool. So what did they do then? Did they do like a poll or something? Was this through the YouTube channel or was this done like... How did they actually go about this? Did he just get on live stream or something and set up a poll, or did they do something over on Twitter or something, or was it through the website or something? Stream on YouTube. That's all. Speaking of TGS, obviously Gamescom, Hypergriff actually reached out to me and asked if I was going, but I'm not, so I was hoping they might say, do you want to? Like, well, am you flying me out? Okay, that's cool then. That's actually dope. Alright, I respect that a lot. Yo, what's going on, Jesus? Pink as well. Welcome. I missed anybody in the chat, guys. Apologies. Roger hummed cheerfully as she sat down. She really didn't seem too different from her usual self. Our consultations usually consisted of some minor chit-chat and watching her munch on some snacks. But, hey, so, I think there's something we had to talk about today.
뭔데 그렇게 분위기를 잡고 그래?
Slacker should go. Do you remember what you asked me when we were dealing with the case of time killing time, Roger?
내가 무슨 말 했었나?
A lot. Just down here. Trying a photo bomb these, and then when she's actually in there, getting her face redacted. Roger carefully looks away, her fingers fiddling with the snacks prepared for these consultations. I'm starting to grow uncertain whether this is a good time to bring this up when she's still so obviously evasive about it. I really don't want the mood to get as frosty as it did during the investigation. But this overly chipper, chatty attitude is just a bandage haphazardly pulled over a scar that still hurts, isn't it? I sit there, looking at Roger and her fabricated smile. I have to ask. Yeah, this is exactly what these consultations are for. What better time to do this than now? I'm talking about the time you asked me about Sonia, and what had happened if you... The alarm had to choose this precise moment when I finally gathered enough courage to bring this up, to go off. I do like, as well, like, as we go deeper into the story, right, I like Dante's growth as a character, but I genuinely like his concern for the sinners. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't just treat them as a tool to get the job done and to figure out what's going on in his own past. You know, he actually not only cares about them, but cares about how he approaches them. Do you know what I mean? He's worried to get on their bad side, to upset them, like genuinely upset them as well. Yeah, what's going on, Z3B? I'm kind of making a ring bleed team. Do you know what? After watching some of those videos for the ID reveals, I know it's not the best, right? But I kind of want to build a charge team. I do. I really do want to build a charge team, though. It's in his own interest to care about them, though, because he's connected to them and also experiences the pain and suffering. No, I genuinely think it's an empathetic, from an empathetic point, I do. I think he actually honestly cares how they feel beyond how it affects him as well. Of course, you know, you can argue everything is done in your own, for your own benefit, right? Because you feel bad when somebody feels bad. So really, you making them feel better. Is it truly for them, or is it just to make yourself feel better? But I genuinely think he cares about how they feel. You know what I mean? Magical Girl Don is a charge ID, by the way. Yeah, somebody mentioned that earlier, actually. Wait, that was... I reflexively get to my feet at the blaring alarm. A few seconds later, I hear someone tapping on the bus PA system. Not long after that, a brief plays from the speaker installed in my room.
운전석에서 전파한다. 버스 내 휴식 중인 전 인원 복도로 집합한다. 다시 한번 알린다. 버스 내 휴식 중인
운전석은 카론 자리야.
잡아당기지 마라. 지금 중요 사안을 전파 중이다.
자꾸 카론과 내피 사이에 끼어들면 곤란해.
Has Karen got the strength? Dante's a cool MC. He really is shaping up to be an MC that I'm liking, you know what I mean? Vigilius's deep sigh was the last thing we heard from the bus PA system before Karen and Otis' brief squabble came to an abrupt end.
어머, 아까 알람도 그렇고 또 뒷문에 새로운 게 생긴 모양이네.
Let's see. I'm gonna guess this is one for a refraction railway.
그런 거라면 좀 싫다. 거기 들어가면 너무 힘들다고.
Roger grumbles for a moment before rising from her seat. Kind of seems like she's trying to smoothly maneuver away from answering my question.
왜 멀뚱멀뚱 서 있어, 단테? 안 나가려고?
Yeah, I'm coming. I leave my empty consultation notes behind and follow Roger out to the hallway. Out to a very crowded hallway. Oh, question actually. Considering he's having these consultation things now, are some of... I know the notes are empty, but are some of those notes ending up in Dante's notes? Out of curiosity. The murmur rises and rises. The sinners were each sharing their ideas as what this alarm might be for.
순서상으로 역시 굴절 철도겠죠?
높은 확률로 다음 번호인 4호선이겠구만. 아휴, 또 고생견 하겠어.
모두 정숙해라. 관리자님께서 오셨다.
Some of them do, yeah. Okay, cool.
소집해두었습니다.
Thanks.
오셨나요, 단테?
Yeah, you know what as well? Obviously, when I was speaking about Faust as well, I wasn't saying Faust is flat. I was obviously talking about her personality a little bit, right? But holy cow, some of the artwork from the one ID trailer, I get exactly what you guys are on about now, that she's not flat, because she definitely is not flat. I heard the radio. Is it a refraction railway this time?
네, 정확히는 거울 굴절 철도죠. 이제 슬슬 이것도 익숙해졌나 봐.
안치.
Oh, what? What the hell are we going in? What the hell are we going in?
도시. Unbelievable.
도대체
When the hell? Oh, okay, I'm glad these guys are as lost as me.
도대체 언제 안으로 갈 것인지 묻는 것 같소.
Okay.
정확히는 도대체 언제 안으로 진입할 건지
When the hell are we
궁금하신
going?
것 같아요.
Hey! I'm getting better. I was closer there, chat. I was closer there. Shout out to Skincare. Ryoshu, who had been listening with a knitted brow as each sinner's hazarded their guesses, appeared to have finally found peace. Sinclair was right on the money. Hey, at least Gregor and Yi-san got half of that right too. The buzz alarms weren't the only things growing increasingly familiar to us. The sinners were really getting to know one another as well. Well, let's go check it out right now.
그럼 문을 열겠네.
Ooh. The door opens with a creak, and a bright blue light fills my vision. What's going on here? Like, silhouettes in the mist, yeah. The blue ambience almost seems to drop the temperature of the entire room. Another railway line, completely different from line 3 and its orange hue.
관리자나리, 이것 좀 보시오. 커튼에 가면까지 완전 파리 분위기잖소.
Masks. I followed Don Quixote, who had run off on her own again, with my eyes. It was as she said. The walls were lined with various masks, each wearing different expressions. I wonder if this has something to do with the theme of the enemies we're about to meet here.
다들 여기 좀 와보게나. 오티스 나리와 똑 닮은 사람이 있다네.
Oh shit. Spitting image of Otis. Arte. Vad är det, bro? There was urgency in her voice. I quickly ran to where Don Quixote was with the other sinners in tow. There she was, an exact copy of Otis standing there before us. Oh shit. Back to the reflection stuff, right? I hope this is anything serious.
세상에. 진짜잖아.
환상체의 미끼 그런 건 아니겠죠?
Two bootlickers, you know.
에이, 야 꼬맹이. 재수없는 소리 하지 마라.
하지만 오티스 씨와 다르게 말도 하지 않고 훨씬 어두운걸요? 우와, 이쪽에는 저랑 똑같이 생긴 분도 있네요.
Honglu stood next to a humanoid shape that mimicked every move he made. When he raised his hands, the shape raised its hands. When he closed his eyes, the shape closed its eyes. Is he doing the old? Getting it to copy him. Right? Almost like a shadow with the darkness in its mimicry. Wait, that looks like one of Honglu's identities. I noticed 2, 3 more humanoid shadows standing nearby. What on earth is going on?
환상체라면 그나마 다행이지만 혹시라도 모종의 이유로 복제된 인간이라면 관리자님, 한시라도 빨리 저것들을 제거해야 합니다.
I don't think they're clones, are they? Because they're like shrouded in this mist, this aura.
지금 당장 전투 명령을.
Give me a sec. I'll ask Faust first if...
빠르게 판단하셔야 합니다. 만약 복제된 것이 맞다면 머리가.
This isn't the first time she's asked to make a decision like this, but she's never been this serious or adamant about it before. He sank noticed the tension and quickly stepped in between the two of us.
파우스티안, 설명을 부탁할 수 있겠는가?
네. 해당 개체는 복제 인간이
Okay,
아닙니다.
so it's not a clone. I thought so.
따라서 이대로 일주일이 지난다고 해도 머리가 나서는 일은 없습니다.
Yeah, that's why she's so quick to what's it? Because clones are a big no-no, right? Faust nodded sagely, as though she had just learned something new, before looking in my direction. Right. She probably wants me to explain what this is. I quickly blurted out the first thing that came to my mind. That one feels like a peculum. I wasn't completely sure. That's the feeling. I've grown so used to sensing whenever we've counted the pecula.
죄종.
폭루 씨를 무작정 따라하는 걸 보면 자아도 희미한 것 같네요. 외관도 좀 다르고요.
It doesn't look like a one-to-one copy of him either.
잠시 진정하시게 오티스 양. 흥분이 과해진 것 같소.
Otis bows, embarrassment apparent, but her head cleared with relief.
죄송합니다. 관리자님 앞에서 이런 주태를.
You're all good, girl. We're used to it now. Clearly. We still have a lot to learn about the sinners. Every instance of these moments seemed to unveil something new. I was trying to get a better read on Otis's expression when Heathcliff suddenly asked a question out loud.
그런데 죄종이라는 건 좀 더 그 뭐냐?
That's what I was thinking. Just
생기지
like,
않았었냐?
how do they look like? How do they look like the sinners? Clones are highly regulated. The clones are pheromone maxing, you know. Funny taboos, big funny no-no.
뒤틀림도 죄종도 외관과 같은 기존의 상식으로 대해서는 안 됩니다.
그런데 저희가 상대할 수 있는 수준의 죄종이겠죠?
Excuse me. Yo!
아, 확실히. 저택에서처럼 몰려오거나
This is that what's in it.
그르길로
Congratulations.
수시를 걷지 않은
You move on
곤란한
to the next level. What is it? Your next opponent is you.
이때까지의 굴절철도를 생각하면 이길 수 없는 상대를 마주할 일은 없을 것이라 생각하오. 그저 그 과정이 고될 뿐.
질투 죄종이라고 파우스트는 알고 있습니다. 이때까지의 죄종을 생각하면 전투가 성립하지 않을 만큼 전력에
Makes
차이가
sense. It's a
있지 않을
peculum of
겁니다.
envy then. Right, considering it's like kind of mimicking us. Invidiae.
죄종을 정확한 등급으로 표기하고 있지 않으니 스스로 판단할 수 있는 정보가 적어졌다.
그러고 보니 죄종과 뒤틀림의 위험 등급 조정은 어떻게 되고 있나요?
I was going to say, I was just thinking about that. When's that supposed to happen? So I remember us talking about that.
부서에서 아직 완료되진 않았지만 진척이 꽤 되었다고 전달받았습니다. 정확한 일정은 정해지면 들을 수 있을 테죠.
Okay. Basically, just wait around then.
정말
We'll go.
다행이네요. 그런데 죄종분들이 갑자기 도망가시는데요?
As he stood there talking to one another, a peculum that resembles hung loose suddenly shoved him to the side and began sprinting elsewhere.
아이씨, 그거 그냥 보고만 있으면 어떡하냐?
Heathcliff also sprinted after the figure, but he soon came to a sudden stop before starting to slowly back away.
이런 미친.
A subway train slides into the platform with a loud horn. Past the windows, I see a subway car filled to the brim with purple shadows. Oh shit, they got backup. Shadows in the shape of the sinners.
저게
It's like fucking a Matrix moment, yeah. Got Agent Smiths all piling out.
저랑 똑같이 생긴 사람을 3명은 본 것 같아요.
Speaking of LCD, good news, a professional audiobook voice actor is doing a free reading of Distortion Detective. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool then. I am a fan of audiobooks, I am. I really am. I love to put an audiobook on the evening. It's either that or like, one of my two favourite things to do is listen to like audiobooks of the evening or, you know, like lore breakdowns. You know, like lore videos, whether it's like history of Lord of the Rings or you know, things in Planetos or Warhammer stuff or whatever it might be. That's one of my, that's how I can proper chill out and fall asleep to that stuff. That ridiculous sight was enough to stop us all dead in our tracks, allowing the peculum to board the subway car, and the door shut behind him.
이번 굴절철도는 유난히 심상치 않구려.
There's aught in the way of disquietude.
어? 저쪽에서 한 대 더 오는데.
As soon as the subway train carrying the pecular leave the station, a new one begins to roll in. To my relief, this one doesn't look like it's packed to the brim with shadow people. Is this for us to get on? But what is that? There are curtains and masks. I don't remember seeing anything like that on the last railways we challenged.
시시한 예술이군.
They were inspired.
아까는 당황해서 제대로 못 봤는데
Cliche.
전철이 꽤 화려하게 꾸며져 있지 않아?
Posh train.
그러게요.
Posh train.
장식품이 주렁주렁 달려있네요.
Just as the sinners were gawking at the ostentatiousness that was this train, something burst forth from the train car door.
뭐라? 이거 카펫이죠?
Sinclair's so nervous, right? It's like something's inviting us in there.
썩 달갑지 않은 초대구려.
I agreed with Yisang. This isn't an invitation I'm happy to jump at, but I'm sure we'll face even worse things in our journey. I'll take every chance we get to strengthen the sinners. Let's go. I took my first steps onto the carpet. Oh, is he leading them? Let's go. Let's go, Dante. I'm boarded the subway train. Manager taking the first step. Love to see it. Love to see it. Alright then, guys. Let us begin, then, shall we? Murder on the Warp Express. I'm guessing this is obviously a nod to murder on the Orient Express. So I'm interested to see what we get here, and obviously just seeing the warp trains and stuff, man, because they are a really interesting thing to me. The big threat with MV Packers is their access to Ego and the fact they use it pretty much as soon as they're available. Right, okay. Alright, let's do it then. Intervallo 4, Part 2. Oh, look at this. Ooh, music. First class. Alright, let's go. Alright. How did this happen? First, we boarded the warp train to get to our next destination, P-Corp. Got into our fancy first class flash freeze hibernation capsule. Oh, we're actually going into the hibernation capsules. Damn, man, Limbus Company got that pull right. And we were supposed to arrive at P-Corp after a quick blink of an eye, but
제대로 듣고 계신 건가요? 지금
has there been a problem? Has there been a problem? Hold up 2 seconds, chat. Just need to check something. Oh yeah, FYI as well, guys. I did upload a video today if you want to check it out. If you haven't already. As well, what sort of because W Corp's singularity, I'm guessing, is the warp trains, right? Is theirs the only one then that's like trans wing, if you will, in a sense? Because like typically so far it seems like their singularities are kind of like specific to their wing, right? But this goes all around the city, doesn't it? You'll know soon enough. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I should add, these are hypotheticals sometimes. You know, because I ask questions out loud sometimes. I'm like, shouldn't ask that. Somebody's gonna come in and give me an answer that I'm not gonna like. The first thing I saw when my vision returned was the perplexed look on Faust, who had entered hibernation at the same time as I did. Then, I realised that we woke up mid-transit on the warp train. Oof. Which could only mean that we're now stranded in some lost, unknown dimension.
단테,
The warp.
혼란스럽겠지만
We're in the warp, literally. What? The hell happened? Nurgle's gonna be popping up soon. First things first. Let's rewind. The little DJ rewind. I mean, Elcorp. True. But Elcorp, like, I felt, you know, I feel like Elcorp had the aura to have branches everywhere, right? I was timing so fair, but my better judgment told me not to send. Nice one, Norse. Appreciate it. Let's rewind and return to the very start of this highly unfavorable situation we find ourselves in. A few days ago.
다음 행선지는 워프 열차입니다. 단테.
Dante. I love the way he said Dante. What? Yep. That's where it all started. There I was, still perplexed by the incidents at T-Corp, with my awful idea of clearing the air by asking Virgilius for our next destination, not knowing the storm that my innocent question would bring. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here.
맞게 들었을 텐데, 돈키호테. 너희들은 지금부터 T사의 워프 열차 승강장으로 간다.
워프 열차의 승강장에 무언가 문제가 있는 것이로군. 그것을 해결하러 가는 것이 아마도 우리의 임무 아니겠는가?
This is the first time I think I've seen Don Quixote like proper like, oh shit, I don't know about this one. Don't know about this one. She's like, we're just staying at the station though, right? We no need to get on the train, right?
워프 열차 승강장에 또 뒤틀림이라도 나타났나?
소일거리를 하는 데에 제법 거리낌이 없게 되었군. 하지만 그것도 아니다. P사로 이동하기 위해 워프 열차에 직접 탑승한다. 문자 그대로 받아들이면 될 일이지.
It's like the 40k warp, I'd want to avoid it as well, right? I think in a sense, dude, it's like different from what I've learned, right? I don't know about the extra dimensional shit, so to speak, but it's kind of fucking worse, you know what I mean? Well, probably not, because the warp is fucked. It was only natural that the sinners immediately fell into a state of collective dumbfounded shock. None of the sinners have any history of working at W Corp, but were actually taking that train. Through what vague information we gathered from identities, we all had some fragmentary knowledge about the terrible secrets of the warp train's operations. I initially considered hiding this information from the rest of the sinners, but since sharing things with everyone and letting them get their 2 cents in usually ended up being pretty helpful, I've been sharing more of these as of late.
인격을 사용했을 때의 기억은 흐릿하다 못해 없는 수준이나.
Oh shit, so they actually absorb information when they're actually wearing the IDs then. That's cool.
관리자와 인격의 대화록을 보았을 때 워프 열차의 원리가 다소 비효율적이고 기이하다는 부분은 확실했다.
Hey, City Sweeper. What's up, dude?
아, 10초 만에 도착하는 게 아니라 사실은 엄청 오래 운행한 뒤에 승객분들의 기억을 전부 없애는 거랬죠?
탑승객끼리 서로를 찍고 부순다고 했던 것 같은데요. 지루함을 이기지 못해서.
오랜만에 걸작품을 들여다볼 수 있겠군.
Ryoshi's like, that sounds like in my kind of place, you know. I like the sound of these. No wonder she ain't got a job on one of them. Even when the sinners wear the identities through my identity cards, the identities, memories, or beliefs don't bleed into them once it's over. Oh, okay. So it just becomes a sort of vague feeling then, does it? Or are they like witnessing it when Dante's talking to the IDs when they're wearing the IDs of other sinners who are not wearing IDs, if that makes sense, you know? So like Mercel's watching Dante talk to like Yi wearing an ID, and that's they can gather information kind of like that. I remember when Faust explained that due to the risks associated with embracing such influences, there was a filtering process to intentionally block them from reaching the sinners. I guess that kind of makes sense. That's why the sinners could use the identities of some of our worst enemies without getting infected by their philosophies and whatnot. Oh, that's really cool, that is actually, isn't it? So when you think about it, like, it's kind of like things like sonorospheres in we were in a sense that, like, with sonorospheres you can kind of do anything. With this, you can kind of do anything in a sense. Do you know what I mean? It opens up to so many potential collaborations through IDs and such, if you will. At least from this explanation, right? But it also meant that they couldn't retain any new information that each identity had to offer. That's why I keep a record of some of the things that sound particularly important and sometimes shared it with the rest of the sinners. Okay, so that's what Yi-Sang was talking about, stuff that was relayed back from him, from potentially self, if you will. Again, that does make sense, all right, because some of the IDs are, like, fucked up, right? So you would hope that you'd need something like that, because otherwise, you know, they come back from wearing the ID, and you've got another, you know, you've got a new, the one who grips or something, because they've just lost it. My voice doesn't really carry well past the window, so most of our communications are one-sided, but had an abundance of W-Corp identities, so it wasn't difficult to piece together the truth behind the trains. Okay. Thank you very much for the 10 as well, City Sweeper. Guys, can we get some love in the chat? Can we get some love in the chat? Okay, I like that. I like that. That is actually really cool. Again, like, easy. We was talking about this before, right? This diegetic inclusion in this game of themes, music, and mechanics. I love how the gacha itself is part of the story. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's just that thing over there, like, you know, it's a mechanic, you know, you get a little menu pops up, like, let's do gacha. It's actually like it's part of the game. Do you know what I mean? Yo, the City Sweeper as well, thank you very much for the is that the 10 Aussie dollars? 10 Aussie dollar hairs. Thank you very much for the 10. I really do appreciate that as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sweeping error cometh. I mean, you straight up trick Captain Ishmael into thinking you're hunting a whale and not some random brats. I see you playing this game convinced me to play it myself. I'm in chapter 2, but I'm already loving it, so thank you for it. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Hey, Project Moon, look, hook me up. Write me a check, man. You know, write me a check. I'm glad you're enjoying it, though. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it, Choco? My unpopular opinion is that the Mirror World's the worst concept they came up with in terms of storytelling. It opens up so much huge can of worms that you can BS your way out of anything. Do you reckon? I smell, like, I don't know if I agree with that, but it's like the age-old multiverse argument when it comes to comics, right? Same sort of thing in a sense, right? Where it can be, like, it can be done really well. It can be used. It's how it's used, right? It's like a gun in a sense. It's a tool. It's how you use it. You know, multiverses throughout comics have been used to, like, oh, you know that dude we killed off? It was a really big character. Yeah, he's kind of back now. He's kind of back now. You know, not the same guy, but it's the same guy. But, like, you know, we'll pretend that doesn't happen anymore and we'll move on. I get what you're saying there. Like, I think that's a fair thing to state. I think it's about how you use it, though, right? So far, I've not seen anything in this game that's, like, been an issue for me. Again, I'll go as far to say, in Kanto 6, great, right? The mirror world was used really well through the whole Heathcliff and Kathy story, right? I think that was cool, I do. And actually, tragic, because, well, when you look at it, he might be Heath on his own now, right? The thing is that the mirror worlds don't really do anything besides giving you a power-up. You can't access the worlds themselves, at least so far. I think it's done well. Well, you can't access the world. Well, we can't, but we had Heath and Kathy do it right, didn't we? Agreed. So far, Limbus is keeping it in check for now. I just hope. Yeah, nah. I think it's a valid thing to talk about. Like, you know, this is what's cool to talk about these things. Multiverses are genuine MacGuffins for a lot of IPs. They are, right? They tend to get used in a way to, we're gonna have this build up. We kill off a character, we destroy a world, whatever it might be. Terrible things happen, and everybody's like, oh my god, they actually did it. And then they could just be like, okay, we can wipe that away now, because we're either in the other universe or that character comes from that universe, kind of thing, right? When you go to other worlds, the ID summon themselves well. Yeah, I guess, if you want to be semantic, talk semantics, you're right. So I thought Canton 9 is the only one that's seen if it worse without reading the ID stories. Was Chroma going mad because of the mirror world and Yi Sang's mirrors? Yeah, I like that whole thing. I do. I think it's cool. I think it's been interestingly used, at least so far. But I can understand, you know, it's one of those things. Like I say, it's like multiverses. And an abundance of W Corp identity, so it wasn't difficult to piece together the truth behind the trains. But maybe ignorance really is bliss. But like when you say we summoned, but we didn't summon Heathcliff to all the other worlds that he went and done his thing, right? Was he actually summoned to them worlds through the Cathys of those worlds? Like what I'm trying to think about that now, because it never specifically went into that, right? Bro was hopping universes, murking fucking dudes left, right, and centre, aren't he? Yo, Troll Jinx, welcome to the stream. What's up, Ali Song? I don't know what you're saying, but welcome. Hopefully it's nice. On a fun part is that the story beats actually affect the other mirror worlds. Did you know that post Canto 6, all the references to Cathy are gone, and the mentions of her name are replaced with static? Somebody did mention that before. That's why I love like the change with Heathcliff's bat, right, where it's got remember on it, you know what I mean? That him and Dante are the two things carrying that story through, right? Carrying Cathy through, that she, without them two, she didn't exist, right? In essence, which is one of the tragic things about Canto 6, right? Did chat tell you if you go back to Canto 6 something's changed? Oh no? What, in regard to what he Freezy's just said? Yeah, World Hunt up Toy Story changes pre and post Canto 6. Oh really? I might have to look into that then. Maybe ignorance really is bliss.
여러분의 이런 동요와 반발은 이미 예상하고 있었습니다.
파우스트군? 그대는 벌써 알고 있었던 겐가? 본인한테만 미리 살짝이라도 알려주지 그랬어.
파우스트는 모든 것을 알고 있으니까요. 당연히 여러분이 떠올린 문제를 해결할 방법도 준비해 두었습니다.
Humble as ever, Faust.
열차를 탄다는 사실이 변하질 않는데 방법이 있다고요?
버스, 이 버스는요? 열차 안에 버스가 들어갈 리도 없잖아요.
Yeah, Vigilius ain't getting on. I doubt it anyway. Bro's like, yeah, I'll meet you at the other end, guys. Yeah, no worries. See you in a bit.
타론도 반대. 내 피 말고 다른 걸 타면 내 피 밥은 누가 줘?
파우스트 씨.
워프 열차의 최후미는 화물칸으로 편성되어 있습니다. 메피스토 팰레스는 해당 칸에 결습되어 함께 움직이게 되죠.
Yo! Mephi is going on. Ah, poor Mephi.
또한 LCB 소속 전원은 1등석을 통해 이동할 예정입니다.
The bus begins to swell with noise again, though in a slightly different air to the alarmed response from earlier.
1등석이라면 부전놈들의 지정석 같은 데 아니냐?
Did you stay on Mephi?
표 살 돈도 없어서 기차 화물칸에 끼어 타고 있는데.
Well, you'd want to go first class, really. Best way to go. Although has been issues with first class sometimes, apparently, according to what I've heard, which I'm guessing we're going to see as well now.
왜 저를 노려보시는 건데요? 전 그런데 앉아본 적 없단 말이에요.
자리 하나에 날개 직원 초봉 서너 달치는 된다던데 회사 재정 괜찮은 거 맞아?
I'd probably say so, considering we're selling things like monoliths. Now we kind of know what's going on with the business model. It's actually kind of not surprising that we've got cash to throw around, right? After we saw what happened in the last Intervallo, that we're willing to sell, like, you know, artifacts that have potential really damaging power to just rich dudes who want to buy them. So, I guess.
걱정할 만한 재정 상태는 아니죠.
개인, 캡슐, 프라이빗, 뭐 고급스러운 단어가 덕지덕지 붙은 자리가 개인별로 제공된다고 들었는데.
2K years of time to learn, practice new skills. Well, that's the thing, they wipe you when you get to the end. So, you'd forget everything.
그런 식으로 홍보하곤 하죠. 엄밀하게는 급속 동면 캡슐입니다. 워프 열차가 실제 이동하는 시간 이상으로도 안정적인 작동이 되는 성능이니 탑승객은 눈을 감았다가 떴을 뿐인데 도착한 것과 다를 바 없는 체감일 것입니다.
그래도 회사의 배려에 참 감회가 새롭구려. 이동하는 길이 불편하지 않도록 그
The
비싼
question is with
자리를
this as well.
선뜻
It's like the
내어주다니.
age-old transporter dilemma, you know, in Star Trek. It's like, obviously, we saw with some of the other stuff, as long as certain parts of you are intact, because people actually tear each other apart, they can put you back together and erase your memory, right? And then you come out being like, ah, sweet, man. That took like 10 seconds. But is that you, in a sense? You know what I mean? I suppose there it's a little bit more, it is because it's physically you, where with the transporter, you're getting taken apart, put into a pattern buffer, and then put back together elsewhere. So there's a bit more of an argument if that's literally potentially just a copy of you, and are you dead in the pattern buffer? So I suppose it's a little bit different, isn't it?
그러게. 원래 같았으면 길잡이 씨랑 카론만 슬쩍 1등석을 태워보내주려나 했는데.
구태여 전원을 안치기보단 관리자님과 그 충실한 조력자만 있어도 충분했었겠지만.
Alright, Otis. You know, I know you like to suck up, but you're taking the piss now.
다들 왜 이렇게 호들갑인지. 다음 임무를 위해 가는 것이니만큼 워프 열차가 가지는 특수성에 대해 고민하고 걱정해도 모자랄 판인데요.
역시 이스마일 씨 말씀대로 아무리 1등석이라 해도 워프 열차 자체가 영 꺼림칙한 곳이기도 하고 저도 역시 걱정이 돼서.
1등석 칸은 일반석 승객들이 함부로 올 수 없는 공간이라는 것도 알아두시는 게 좋을 거예요. 아니, 아예 열지 못하겠군요.
Ishmael, who'd been holding that first-class promotional pamphlet in her hands for a while, was chattering on with fire in her eyes.
그러니까 저희는 따로 전투를 치를 필요가 없이 편안하게 눈만 감으면 되는 거라고요. 옛날에 재정이 더 좋았을 무렵에는 기념품도 하나씩 줬었다고 했는데.
모험에는 항상 고난이 따라붙긴 마련이지. 허나 칭송받는 영웅도 잠시 눈을 감고 쉬어갈 때가 필요한 법. 언제나 허름한 여간에서 몸을 늘 순 없는 일이지.
Seems like everyone was at least somewhat interested in the fabled first-class seats of warp trains. I could sense that there was a growing consensus among the sinners that even a warp train trip might be acceptable if it meant that they could ride in the first-class seats.
타야 한다면 타겠다.
꼭 1등석에 타야만 되나? 그곳은 나비 교환을 감상하는 재미가 없을 텐데.
She's born for this. She's like, yo, I'm ready. Put me in there, man. Let me see what goes down. Virgilius pretended to not hear Ryoshu's question.
좋아. 그럼 다 받아들였다는 것으로 알고 출발하도록 하지.
I feel like she gets stressed out after a while though when her cigarettes run out.
가장 중요한 질문이 남아있네.
뭐냐? 답지 않게 쭈뼛거리고.
Don Quixote carefully began, almost whispering in a low voice.
1등석이란 공간에선 신발을 벗고 타야 한다는 소문이 있는데 사실입니까?
Has Don got stinky feet?
어디서 또 괴상망측한 소문을... 소문이 아니오! 요전에 지나가는 자들의 대화를 엿들었는데 1등석 타면 맨발로 타야 하는 거 알지? 하고 묻자 당연하지! 그걸 누가 모르냐? 라고 하였단 말이오. 참말인가? 이스마일 군?
왜 저한테 물어봐요? 저도 타본 적은 없단 말이에요. 홍보 책자에 그런 내용은 없었는데. 잠시만요.
그건 안 될 일일세! 본인은 로신한테와 한치도 떨어져서는 안 되는 사이여야 하네. 결코 우리 로신한테를 저 홈상고전 히스칼리 부근의 신발짝과 같이 내버려둘 수는 없어.
이게 진짜...
불도 시선께 부탁하네. 로신한테를 옆에 같이 태우면 안 되겠는가?
I expected Vigilius to answer with his usual exasperated rebuff, contrary to my expectations. However, he responded in somewhat a serious tone, if tainted by that familiar annoyance.
신발은 벗지 마라.
Oh yeah, what about Dante as well? Can they even erase his shit like that? I feel it's so underrated how Limbus continues to world build actively. The wings aren't in the static state, they continue to have their own things going on. I love the world building in this. I love how they're building up to this as well. Funny with all the time shenanigans, W could be still running at a loss. Oh yeah, for sure. These guys would murder each other constantly. Until the point where Dante was just like, you know what? I ain't even going to bother reviving him. Because, like, they get down each other's throats constantly. Just imagine being there all that time. You know? No grippers for the chat. Yeah, I know. People probably hoping some Don Quixote grippers, yeah. I just want to say once again, City Sweepers, thank you very much for the super chat as well. Very much appreciated. Alright then. What's this? The Northern Fixer. Okay. This place is huge. Oh, the train's actually massive, isn't it? Oh, it's huge. It's like 2.5-story train by the looks of it. That was my first impression of the warp train station. Don Quixote shouted vibrantly, immediately recovered from her previous apprehension of the sheer possibility that she might be separated from Rocinante. So, each nest has one of these massive structures in them?
나라고 알겠냐? 어이, 아는 거 있어?
Heathcliff asked, gesturing toward Mercer with his chin.
모든 워프 열차 승강장은 그 둥지의 특징과 걸맞는 조형과 건축으로 도시 내에서도 유명하다. 승강장의 모습 그 자체로도 도시 명물 중 하나라고 칭송하는 이도 적지 않지.
Okay, so they've got a theme to each area then, yeah? No grippers. Got it. I have no idea when it happened, but Heathcliff started treating Mercer like a walking encyclopedia from time to time.
메르소군! 메르소군! 저자는 서부에서 온 해결사가 맞는가?
저자의 복장은 가죽 재질과 금속 재방어구가 아니라 원단으로 만들어졌군. 저런 직물 스타일은 남북을 따지지 않지만 서부에서는 보기 드문 동부의 복식이기에.
Okay, is this the northern?
조금만
Northern guy
천천히
then.
불러주시오. 메모를 해야 하니. 그럼 북부는 추운 날씨 탓에 펑퍼짐한 패션을 하고 있다고 잡지에서 보긴 했네만.
그것은 바로 코앞에 있는 자를 관찰해보면 알 수 있다.
Oh shit! Has he got 4 arms? I love Don, man. This dude looks sick. 3 seconds of screaming duets, one of utter fascination and the other unmitigated frustration.
쟤 뭐야? 귀가 멀어버릴 뻔했잖아.
우리도 마찬가지였거든.
나는 고막 가창음악자를 나타났다고. 정신 나갈 뻔했네.
Holy shit, man.
워프 열차 처음 타보는 촌놈들처럼 왜 그러고 길을 단체로 막고 있는 거야? 아이씨, 이거도 언제 왔는데 목표를 놓쳐서 짜증나 있는 상태인데.
진 않나? 처음 타보는 거?
I do fucking... I love the writing in this game. The writing's great in this game. Voice acting kills it as well. Another character just comes in. Great voice acting.
심지어 워프 열차 왕복권은 내 삽이었다고.
아이 저 조심해. 그렇게 무기를 든 채로 팔 4개를 붕붕 흔들면.
Is each one holding a weapon?
혹시 그대의 옷차림에 대해 조금 더 자세히 관찰해봐도 괜찮겠는가? 오, 그래, 그 포즈로!
She's literally exploding with excitement. The Vixar, with a particularly impressive set of prosthetic arms, spent a few minutes venting several of his numerous grievances at us before storming off to a different platform.
역시 도시는 넓고 특이한 자들은 많군.
Yo, Lihabub! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome. It's nice for you that you can play those after the voice acting release for them. Yeah, I'm, again, like we were talking earlier about that delay for Canto 6, I think, for me, the story, writing, storytelling, great, right? Awesome. Man, it's elevated by the voice acting. I'm so happy to experience it all voice acted.
저 사람도 똑같이 생각했을걸요.
전신이 의체인 사람은 역시 도시엔 흔한 걸까요?
I'm gonna die, right? That's when Virgilius slowly walked up to our group.
그럼 도착해서 만나도록 하지.
붉은 시선께서는 함께 하시지 않은 것이요?
That's what he meant. Intervallos on voice until Bokak. Yeah. I kind of expected Don to have an indent in her head after that interaction. Yeah. I'm gathering that's what, like, some people told me before that some Intervallos and certain parts of the game weren't voiced earlier on, like. I was just saying that, like, that's why Kanto Thames delayed around voice acting and stuff, right? Like, I'm here for the voice acting stuff as well, man. So it's like, it's definitely, I haven't experienced it without. Well, there's parts, but it's definitely better with.
W사의 정책상 색을 부여받은 자는 별도로 마련된 열차를 사용해야 한다더군.
Oh, okay. Was Border Train specifically prepared for them instead? Is that because they're that powerful they might, if they go insane, they might do some messed up shit, or just special treatment?
1등석에도 1등석이 있는 거야?
어딜 가나 특색은 날개 차원에서 특별 대우를 해주나 보네요.
하루는 돌아가고 싶어. 내피 외로울 거야.
서로 맛이 다른 사탕을 3번이나 사주면서도 말하지 않았나. 화물칸에는 사람을 실을 수 없다, 카론. 그럼 파우스트 씨.
네.
Virgilius, after exchanging a knowing look and a nod with Faust, escorted the particularly peeved Karen away.
단테, 저희는 이쪽으로.
We followed Faust's guidance to the entrance of our train car.
와, 색도 좀 돌아오는 걸? 그리고 이게 말로만 듣던 웰컴 푸드 앤 드링크. 아, 그래, 한두 푼도 아닌데 이런 것쯤은 있어줘야지.
Some munchies. The general response to this room was a surprise at the rows upon rows of expensive-looking, sizable capsules. Karen is cute, cheese. That time they had to colour on the main carriage. They had to call in a grade 1 to deal with the massive passengers with 2,000 years of training from a colour. Oh shit! Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a worry then, I suppose, right? Faust, are these flash-freezed hibernation devices safe?
안전이라는 말씀은
Okay, that's never something you want to hear back when you say, is this safe? And somebody goes, please elaborate on your exact definition of safe. What? Is it fucking safe, bro? That's not what I want to hear. These things are supposed to freeze us solid, right? Can we really come back from something like that?
일시적인 사망 상태에 이르는 것은 맞지만 세포가 손상될 새도 없이 동결하는 것이니까요. 일반적으로는 문제 없습니다.
Most normal cases.
동결 시
Love to hear it.
발생하는 밀도의 증가나 수분 결정이 날카로워져 세포를 훼손하는 문제도 이
Go
문제는
into
전부
cleaning your
해결한
greeting with a
것으로
drop kick from a
파우스트는
Tibetan
알고
monk.
있답니다.
Right, imagine having a colour fix for training people for 2,000 years. It's fucking... That's cool, though. I like it. I thought it was reset, so why would he... Well, I think they have to... Do the cleaners... Is it part of the cleaners coming in and resetting all that? I missed about half of what you said, but your point is that it's safe, right?
적어도 파우스트가 알고 있는 선에서는 그렇습니다. 혹여 문제가 있더라도 결국 도착 시에는 원점으로 돌아오니 문제가 없는 것과 다르지 않겠죠.
야, 안전하다는 걸 저렇게 길게 말하는 것도 재주다, 재주.
The resetting process is manual. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if you've got like a bunch of incredibly well-trained people, it's going to be a bit difficult to manually reset them, yeah.
네, 파우스트는 모든 방면에서 재주가 있으니까요.
Okay, but that still leaves a lot to be worried about. Just as I was wondering, however, I realised that there was something odd about the way she phrased that answer. As far as Faust is aware, are you saying that it could be wrong?
파우스트는 대체로 틀리지 않습니다. 하지만 신도 아니죠. 파우스트가 아직 구하지 못한 정보도 세상에는 존재합니다. 그렇기 때문에 사실은 말할 수 있어도 진실과는 어긋날 수 있는 것이죠.
So that's the Faust thing. She's always right. And if she's not right, it's just because she hasn't learned it yet right. She's never wrong. Okay. That's a real W singularity.
1등석이 좋긴 좋네. 피사 정도면 북부 끝자락에 있는 지역인데 눈을 감았다가 뜨면 도착이라니.
준비되었는가, 로시나테오? 이제부터 길고 긴 야정이 시작되는 걸세.
Okay.
그러고 보니까
A voice actor
좋대.
kills it, man.
그 신발 빨긴 하는 거야?
Where'd that come from, Roger? I know what she's thinking. I know what she's thinking.
아니, 생각해 보니까 우리 그 고래 뱃속에서 한참 갇혀 있었을 때 기억나? 그 고래가 터지면서 온갖 찌꺼기들이 다 묻었었잖아. 옷이랑 신발 할 거 없이.
그랬죠.
그래서
sorry.
우리 그 살점이랑 피 같은 옷들 세탁하느라 고생 좀 했었고.
별로 유쾌한 기억은 아니지만 그랬었죠.
그때 돈키호테 혼자 저 운동화를 끝까지 안 벗고 버티고 있었다니까.
듣고 보니 좀 꼬질해 보이긴 하네요.
Oh no. She's got stinky grippers.
자네들 자신의 애마를 품 안에서 함부로 떼어놓는 기사를 본 적이 있는가?
기사 자체를 본 적이 없는데.
그렇다면 이제라도 보고 듣고 기억해 두시게.
저자들은 단 한순간도 조용히 있는 법이 없군.
와, 그런데 오티스 씨도 이런 곳에 와보신 적이 있나 봐요?
The suit my feet are perfectly marinated.
뭐 옛날에는 이런 비슷한 VIP 좌석을 제공받고는 했지. 유난 떨 필요는 없다.
Otis, who was sitting there and shaking her legs, suddenly asked Faust a question.
어이, 1등석에는 한 번도 사고가 난 적 없었던 거 확실하겠지?
여러분의 불안감 조성을 방지하기 위해 워프 열차에서 일어났던 사고에 대한 기록들은 열거하지 않겠습니다.
Awesome. Feel so much better. I feel so much better now. You know, has there ever been issues in what we're about to do? To make you feel better, let's not talk about it. Hey, yeah. Just, you know, if I don't tell you, nothing happened, right?
그게 무슨...
곧 출발하려나 본데요.
P사행 PW612 워프 열차 곧 탑승 수속을 마감합니다.
The sinners, who were either leisurely enjoying their complimentary snacks or taking a look around the first-class car, suddenly became a lot busier.
그럼 너무 늦기 전에 캡슐에 들어가도록 하죠.
Or can you not enter them once it's ripping dimension? Oh no. Why isn't this... The other sinners made it into their capsules. Not a problem, but... I felt like I was the only one who was fumbling.
긴장하셨나요, 단테?
I think so.
워프 10분 전.
Initiating warp in 10 minutes.
제가 돕도록 하죠.
Engage.
우선 내부에 기댄다는 느낌으로 서신 뒤
Faust expertly guided me into the capsule, as though she'd done something like this before, then pressed the button inside the capsule that closed the hatch. Look at Roger. Is that Roger? She's like...
너무 걱정하지 마세요. 금방 다시 보게
We'll
될
meet
겁니다.
again.
단테.
Shit. But in a moment... Is that Don, is he? I thought that was Roger. Is he Don? Yeah, it probably is because she's shorter, isn't she? Yeah. It's Don, isn't he? Yeah, it's Don. I thought it was Roger. But yeah, short hair and she's shorter. There's that... Oh, that's Honglu, right. Okay, so... That's Don. Is that Yi? Is that Faust? That's Honglu, yeah. That sounds too hard to tell. I'm gonna guess that's Ryoshu though, right? Fucking Don, man. She's a nutter. Yeah, you're right, chat. It's done. It's done. Defo done. It's Faust. You can see it. 2 big Fausts. Yeah, I'd say that is it then. Don, Yi, Faust, Hong, and I'm gonna say Ryoshu. I thought I heard a brief sigh. The hatch shut tightly before I could ask her anything.
우리 열차는 이제 워프하겠습니다. 좌석 벨트가 단단히 메어졌는지 다시 한번 확인 부탁드립니다.
The last thing I saw before my capsule began to fill with gas was Faust climbing into her own capsule opposite of mine. Little did I know back then what she really meant by "we will meet again in but a moment."
단테, 일어나야 합니다. 단테.
Uh-oh. But one thing I knew for sure was
상정 외의 상황입니다.
that something had seriously gone wrong. Oh shit. The disappearing passengers. Psych! That was probably. There's a funny detail in combat in this Intervallo. If you use rip space or similar. Oh, really? Ooh. 2 seconds, chat. Check my email a sec. Hey, claim release on a Limbus Company stream. Let's go, let's go. Just get the rest done now. How many of you guys got into the Silver Palace beta? Chat. I did not. Okay, my bad. So, DJ Casual. I need to curse your Paul's name. Have to let me know what he's saying. Let me know what he's saying. Silver Palace, skip. We're here already? Oh, they're still all... Just me and Faust that are awake. Wow. Guess that wasn't an exaggeration at all. It all really happened in the blink of an eye. As always, Faust was giving me a usual look, which was a complete lack of any emotive expression. Which I suppose is why it didn't immediately register that something had gone awry. She did say.
아니요. 도착하지 않았습니다.
Huh? Once I finally came to and had some time to digest that odd reply, I looked up at her face once again and realised that her expression was more angsty than usual by a microscopically minuscule degree. So, is training still running?
그렇습니다.
Then, where are we?
어디인지 알 수 없는 좌표의 차원 어딘가를 표류하고 있을 것이라고
We're
판단되네요.
stranded. So we're not even travelling. Casual curse your beta selection. Dude, I'm telling you, man, that was that dono the other day. Bro was just winding up the powers, man. He was just dialing things up. Bro was just hitting me with the damage amp. You know? You wish you had my powers. What's Silver Palace? It's a new gacha game on the horizon. Yo, Kathy! It's going very well. It's going very well. Yeah, the special effects in this intervallo battle happens only with W cup IDs when using skill 3. Go back to sleep and wait for someone else to fix the train. I took a reflexive, deep breath from the sheer horror of the numerous implications stuffed into that dryly delivered sentence. When that passed, the first thing that struck my mind was that we were about to suffer the very thing that we were so worried about. I see. But I soon found myself calming down. Yeah, this had to be part of Faust's plan. She probably saw this coming from a mile away. I'm sure she's about to proudly tell me every little detail of her plan that will help us out of this situation. This is all just a part of the plan, right, Faust? Oh, have I got it set to... She's still set to present field, is he? Oh, shit, my bad. Oops. Oops. It's how much attention I paid to Twitch, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. Oops. Oops. There we go. Apologies. Enfield content promised by pigs. You can sell stuff for Perlica, though. If you want. Yeah, my bad, chat. My bad. Hey, yo, guys, as well. If you haven't already done so, drop a like on the YouTube stream, guys. Drop a like. We haven't even hit 50 likes at the minute. We got like 200 people in here, man. You know, a quarter if you hit the like button. That's 75% of you deserve to be stuck on a warp train. Just saying. Just saying. You know? That was an unusually long silence from Faust.
절반은 맞고 절반은 틀립니다.
Or, I'm actually correct. Just the other information hasn't been brought to me yet. Right? So she does he? I'm 5 steps ahead of you, buddy. I liked at the start of the stream. Boss. With that, Faust left me to flounder in this chaotic stream of vaguely terrifying information as she began stopping by each capsule to wake the sinners. Oh, okay. So she's waking them all up as well.
벌써 도착한 거야? 야, 진짜 눈 감았다 같으면.
You saying the same thing as me?
아닙니다.
Or Dante?
뭐야? 진짜 도착한 거야? 정말 눈 감았다 뜨니까.
아닙니다.
Isn't that funny? I said me, and I've done that multiple times for this game. Where, like, I suppose you could argue there's some self-insert stuff in these. But not. So I suppose that's why I'm not really into self-inserts. Because, like, initially with the Doctor for a long time, it's a self-insert, and I never see... I guess I did a little bit. Like, with the entire time of playing gacha games that tend to have self-insert characters, I never feel like, oh, I never use that terminology, me. Or I said me then. Just notice I've done that a few times with Dante as well. Do you know what I mean? Which, it's whatever. Because you are Dante, you're playing as Dante. You're seeing it through his POV, their POV, should I say. People have told me off about that. So I keep saying Dante's a he. But yeah. It's not self-insert, I'd say it's relatable. Don't think Dante's a self-insert character. No, I don't think so, no. I think they have too much of a distinct personality in how they view things, right? You know, like, I'd say, like, the Doc in Ark Knights at the start, he's a self-insert. Only like 3 people call. Yeah. Is it? I had a couple of comments about that on my YouTube channel, and I'm just like, is it that big of a deal? Agree, Zero. That's exactly what I was about to talk about. That well-developed characters you tend to relate to, right? So you can connect with them better than just a blank slate. That's why I've never been a fan of self-insert characters that are just complete. Yeah, there's times and a place for them, right? But that's why you can't connect with the blank slate. All you can do is insert yourself to be like, oh, they're on me, but it just doesn't work as well for me. Give me a good MC any day. I can relate to that MC, and I can kind of attach myself to them much better. It's like the difference between Skyrim and Witcher Dragonborn self-insert. Geralt is his own character. I'd argue with a game like that, though. Self-inserts work a lot better, though, right? Because you have a lot more choice in things, don't you? So you are the vehicle in a sense. So it works much better in a character creator RPG like.
도착한 거예요? 생각보다 겁먹을 필요가 전혀 없.
아닙니다.
No.
아닙니다.
아직 아무 말도 안 했네만.
There was a brief cheer, a little hurrah about regaining our colours, followed by a flat-toned explanation of the current predicament, which was then followed by a long-loaded silence, which was a sequence of events I had the pleasure of watching play out on about 10 consecutive occasions.
단테, 혼란스럽겠지만 우선 지금의 상황을 다시 한번 설명해야만 할 것 같습니다.
Okay, explain. And that brings us to the present.
그러니까 지금 이 열차는 아직도 운행 중이고
우리는 어딘지도 모를 처운을 떠돌고 있다는 거냐?
그건 뭔가 멋있게 들리는 건.
I wonder if warp trains have ever been just lost and never come back.
제일 중요한 건 이 모든 상황이 벌어질 걸 파우스트, 당신은 처음부터 알고 있었다는 거고.
그렇습니다.
Damn.
뭐 하자는 거야, 당신?
Fair to have a valid crash out right now. Fair. The sinners each begin to voice their anger. Of course, this wasn't the first time Faust and Vigilius intentionally and knowingly omitted certain details about what's to come.
이게 말이 된다고 생각해? 여긴 계획이 틀어졌다고 문 열고 도망갈 수 있는 공간도 아니잖아.
문을 연다 하여도 수천 내로 몸이 산산조각 날 것이다.
Oh shit.
그래도 파우, 앞으로 어떻게 할지 정도는 다 계획해 둔
Has
거지.
the place got windows?
그렇지?
I want to look outside.
그렇지?
Faust, whom I had rarely ever seen at a loss for words, was unusually slow to respond.
뭐야? 저 왜 저렇게 얼빠진 모습인데?
She gives me a sideways glance. There must be something she can't discuss in front of the sinners. Guys, let's pause for a bit. She said that something unexpected happened. The other sinners' anger was completely understandable. It also makes sense that this continued lack of communication was harming our trust in Faust. Alright, we're going over the situation from the start, okay? Just letting things play out might really turn everyone against Faust, and for good. Besides, man, this is the first time I've seen Faust look a little bit perturbed. I doubt Faust woke us up in the middle of this trip just to spite us. First things first, I gotta get the sinners to calm down, and I'll ask Faust to tell us what happened. If there's a problem, we'll figure it out and deal with it as we move along. Tell us what's going on, Faust. All of it, and in a way that we can all understand. Let's hear her out first. Is that okay with you guys? Damn, mediated Dante. Let's go. Train lacks windows so people can't see inside when it gets to the station. I suppose, yeah, good point, yeah. Let's see if we can see Slaanesh outside the window.
가만내서 해결된 일이 별로 없긴 했지.
Character growth for my boy.
감사합니다. 그럼
After some time, gist of Faust's explanation was as follows. The cause of this issue, as always, involved a certain contract and unilateral decision from the higher-ups of Limbus Company. W Corp, having caught wind of Limbus Company's recent distortion contract management promotions, decided to contract us to deal with a mysterious, repeated series of incidents suspected to have been caused by a distortion, after multiple failed attempts to resolve it on their own, of course.
뒤틀림 현상 자체는 문제가 없었을 겁니다. 저희가 가진 정보와 일치한다면 워프 열차가 도착하는 대로 그 뒤틀림은 W사의 처치를 받아 승객으로 돌아갔을 테니까요.
Okay.
하지만
So what's the issue then? The real issue was that the passengers were disappearing. Ooh. Okay.
사라진다니? 이 열차에서는
Spirited away.
그러고 싶어도 그럴 수 없지 않은가?
그 부분을 포함하여 저희가 이유와 결과를 알아내야 하겠죠.
Did W Corp share anything to get us started?
그 점이 이번 오해를 만든 가장 중요한 부분인 것 같군요.
She explained that W Corp refused to share anything about the trains because they were concerned about disclosing the secrets of their singularity. Okay. Technical secrets. Makes sense. Yo, humour me. That's probably why they sought out an upstart business like Limbus Company to deal with this now that I think about it. We wouldn't even know where to start if we didn't have access to the information that the identity cards had to offer. Faust produced what appeared to be a key card with the W Corp logo on it before continuing with her explanations.
대신 이 동면 캡슐을 언제든지 열어둘 수 있는 마스터 카드 키를 받았으니
Oh shit, okay. We got the key.
의뢰를 해결하면 저희는 메피스토 팰리스에서 이야기했던 대로 동면 캡슐로 돌아가 안전하게 도착할 수 있겠죠.
날개라는 건 왜 하나같이 이 모양인 건지.
True.
중요한 단서는 전부 감추고 정답을 찾아오라고 하는 건 좀 불친절한 것 같네요. 적어도 T사에서는 멋진 배지도 주고 대표님이 조수로 따라와서 이것저것 설명해 주셨는데 말이에요.
True, he was actually pretty chill, weren't he, to be fair? Somewhat.
파우스트 씨도 마음고생이
Murderer?
많으셨을 것 같아요.
Some sinners grew more receptive after her explanations, albeit with a sigh.
그래도 뭐가 있다는 티 정도는 내줄 수 있었을 텐데.
맞아요. 이해가 아주 안 되는 건 아니지만 파우스트 씨의 행동이 하나하나 감시당하고 있는 건 아니잖아요.
그건
Can't say. But not everyone was willing to let this go without saying their piece.
다음엔 참고하도록 하죠.
I like these. Again, a little, a little back and forth here. It seems like Faust is somewhat receptive, right? The first time that feels like there's because she could be incredibly not even stoic, right? Just robotic to a degree, can't she? Feels like there's a potential little bit of flex here, a little bit of receptiveness from Faust. I like this. Obviously, I know she's doing what she's doing because, it's her role. But, yeah. And that's just about all I can do for her. It's an undeniable fact that her actions have disappointed the sinners. Faust GPT's not working. This is Faust we're talking about. Though, I'm sure she has backup plans to get us out of this situation.
그래서 이제 우리가 어떤 일을 하면 되는 거지?
그래, 일단 일은 벌어졌으니까 여기서 평생 썩어야 하는 상황은 피한 것 같고.
Well, hope not.
그 부분을 관리자님과 잠시 상의해 보도록 하겠습니다.
Oh shit. Discuss? But discussing things with other people is very unlike Faust. What are we discussing, Faust?
목소리는 낮추는 게 좋을 것 같군요, 단테.
Why are we whispering? A secretive attitude only exacerbated my already battered sense of safety.
제젤 샤프트. 아니, 파우스트가 연결되지 않습니다.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, what? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, cool. What's that? She hasn't mentioned that before, has she? I'm just like, oh. Alright. Is the Wi-Fi not working?
저는
I cannot access Faust's knowledge at the moment.
열람할 수가 없는 상태입니다.
Oh, shit. She's a LARPer. She's a LARPer. She's fucking... The Wi-Fi's gone down. She can't use Wikipedia. She can't use Google. ChatGPT's not working. She's a LARPer. She's LARPing. And just like that, the ominous feeling I had turned out to be right. Have we got dented Faust now? Oh shit. She can't press the wiki now, huh? Little detail in the conversation before just now. She said I instead of... Oh, did she? I didn't pick up on that. I didn't pick up on that. To the cute Faust. Oh yeah, for sure. Keep the group chat. Yeah, I missed that. Interesting. I guess that acts as somewhat of a shadow of a personality. Then if she says that, right? You like the real Faust, do you? I feel like we need to use a... I feel like we need to use a what's here. Should we use Don? Rip space. Want to see this effect that you guys are talking about?
출발합니다.
Want to see what this effect is that you guys are talking about?
키만 잡고 있을 때가 아니구려.
I need to level bro, don't I?
오늘은
어디 봐. 키만 잡고
Those
있을
some
때가
extras.
아니구려.
Just throw some
저를
extras, shall we?
부르셨다는 건...
Let's just do that.
아,
Let's do that.
노비가 도망쳤군요.
이번 전투가 끝나면 반드시
On skill 3. What do you mean you can't?
말 그대로입니다. 평상시에 얻을 수 있던 파우스트의 의견과 정보를 아무것도 얻을 수 없다는 뜻이죠.
My access to Faust's input and information, which has always been readily available, is completely severed. Oh, what if everything about this situation is something you don't have access to yet? Like you said last time?
그럴 가능성을 배제할 수는 없지만 그것에 대한 것도 확실하지 않습니다.
Faust's answers have always been perfectly accurate and methodical when sharing information. I don't think she's ever said a sentence that was this full of speculation and doubt. Then, Faust, right now you're...
네, 지금은
I am.
제가 갖고 있는 지식만을 활용하고 있습니다. 원인은 알 수 없습니다. 차원간 이동에 의한 문제 대비는 충분했을 테지만 아마 파우스트는 이런 예측 불가능한 차원과의 연결까지는 상정하지 않았던 것이겠죠. 혹은 상정했다 한들 아직 교차 관측을 하지 못했을지도. 그것도 아니라면 아닙니다.
Damn, she really is questioning herself, right?
파우스트의 연결이 끊기게 된다는 정보는 없었습니다. 솔직하게 말해
A connection to Faust. So is Faust the Gellersteller Gerst thing or whatever it's called?
부분적인 당혹감을 느끼고 있는 상태입니다.
Alright. I'll get it for now. And that changes everything. I recalled the last thing I saw before the hatch capsule closed when Faust told me not to worry too much. Okay. This is just a minor setback. Nothing we can't beat, right? We got this. I began to mutter like I was trying to convince myself. As the manager, my job is to calm everyone down and set their sights on the future, just as Faust did for me immediately before the hatch closed. If you're right about why you were disconnected, then that problem will solve itself once we're off the train. And if we do ever run out of options, I'll just turn the clock and see what happens. Don't stress yourself too much. We still have a lot of work with your knowledge. My, clock, sinners, and... I could feel my confidence taking hit with every word that came out of my metaphorical mouth. That seemed to be enough for Faust. She nodded.
네, 알겠습니다. 그리고 수감자들에게는 운행 중인 워프 열차에 있다는 것만으로도 충분히 혼란스러워하는 것 같으니 구태여 파우스트의 현재 상태에 대해서는 공유하지 않는 편이 좋을 듯합니다.
Okay. She becomes a lot more cute without a connection, yeah? The Gelshaft. That's it, yeah.
뭐야? 그럼 이 열차문을 부숴도 다 뒤진다는 거야?
그러니까 히스클리프 씨 힘으로는 부술 수도 없다니까요.
여기서 10억 년 동안
A billion years. Gelshaft, it's German and translates to society. Okay. Yeah, that might be best.
그래서 이제 어떻게 하면 되는 거지? 객실을 샅샅이 수색하거나 뭐 그런 거야?
큰 틀에서는 맞다고 할 수 있겠네요.
Faust cleared the air with a cough before continuing.
우선 이 열차는 운행을 시작한 후 A사 표준 시간을 기준으로 3일 정도 지난 상태입니다.
3 days.
림버스 컴퍼니와 W사의 계약 내용대로 캡슐에 비치된 마스터 카드 키를 획득하고 3일 뒤에 자동으로 열리게끔 설정했죠.
3일?
눈을 감았다가 떴을 뿐인 것 같았는데 동면이란 건 이런 느낌인가 봐요.
이미 알려진 대로 일반 석칸에서 1등 석칸으로 들어올 수 있는 방법은 없기 때문에 이곳은 아무런 변화가 없지만 제 추측과 W사의 부실한 설명을 합쳐보면 일반석은 이미 문제의 상황이 진행 중일 것이라고 생각됩니다.
그 뭐야?
Okay, so shit might be hitting the fan.
싸우다가 팔다리 뜯고 그러는 걸 말하는 거냐?
Gazelle shaft.
아니요, 아니겠죠. 사흘 만에 그렇게 되는 것도 쉬운 일이 아닐 뿐더러 그런 상황에 우리를 투입시키지는 않았을 테니까요.
정확합니다.
Okay.
제가 생각하기에는 아마
잠시만 기다리게.
Just as Faust was about to continue, Don Quixote raised her index finger to her lips and signaled her to be quiet.
뭔가 들리지 않는가? 흥난 아니 두드리는 소리인가? 분명 이 문 너머에.
As Don Quixote kept listening with her ear to the door, an odd expression of half curiosity and half horror appeared on her face.
아무래도 저기에 무슨 파우스트군?
After that very distressful noise, everyone simultaneously turned their heads to look at Faust, who closed her eyes briefly in thought.
잠시 비켜나시죠, 돈키호테. 직접 보고 대응하는 편이 나을 것 같습니다.
With that, she produced the master key card from her pocket and approached the panel installed next to the door.
뭐야? 잠깐. 이 문 열려는 거야?
히스클리프 씨의 평소 조언을 한번 따라보려고 합니다. 고민하기보다 직접 몸으로 부딪히는 편이 때로는 더 나을 수도 있다는 거요.
조언. 틀린 말은 아니지만.
What's got it into you, lass?
어차피 저도 직접 보지 않으면 아무것도 추론해낼 수 없을 테니까요.
After a brief mechanical beep. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Hideous creatures suddenly crashed through the open door and charged wildly in our direction. Okay. Gesellschaft. I don't know. I'm English. Girlie only knows ChatGPT, right?
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
나비가 날개짓 하듯.
낮도 밤도 지 숨이 닿도록 베어내.
Betty Gellerfield on your own.
당신의 판단을 따를게요.
Man, a freaking Warhammer game with this style and a similar combat system would actually kind of go really hard.
설령 노간이를 추락하더라도 괜찮니? 이 노을이 식지 않도록 더
나는
뜨겁게
언제나 달려나갈 준비가 되었어.
타올라라.
It's a 10 charge, I can do it, yeah. She had 6.
여명의 빛과 같이.
Your favourite Intervallo, for real?
이렇게들 허약해서.
Yeah, Time Killing Time's been my favourite so far, but I'm looking forward to this. I love the setting of the warp train. Victory!
파우스트군.
2 secs, chap.
이들은
wanna get
승객의
Vicky.
모습을 하고 있었지만
I want a Bicky chap. favourite until the next one, right? Getting a custard cream. I'm hoping to. Lady Faust, however, similar appearance I may have been to the passengers.
제대로 사리분별을 할 수 없는 이성이 존재하지 않는 자들 같았네.
Man, they don't even get much leg room for 2,000 years, do they?
마치 그 고래에 의해 백화된 것처럼요.
Don Quixote, who hesitated until the last second to raise her weapon against them, hung her head mournfully. Normally, Faust would have told her more information about those monsters before the fight began, even, and she would not have been burdened by the sheer thought of bringing harm to the innocent. Oh, did you shard Dawn, Faust and Sinclair? No, just Sinclair.
오늘따라 주위를 많이 돌아보는구려, 파우스트 양.
그러게요. 평소 같았으면 저희가 관찰을 하고 있을 때 결론을 내주시지 않았나요?
Sinners started to realise that there was something off about Faust's behaviour, but it was going to be obvious pretty quickly when she didn't have fucking the entirety of Google at her fingertips. Might even soon realise that there's something wrong with Faust.
동키호 이들은 죽지 않았습니다. 자세히 보시죠. 파편과 파편 사이에 무언가 이어져 있지 않나요?
Are we going to get a bit of a what's it here for Faust, where it's like she doesn't necessarily need the Gellerseller shaft, and that she is her own Gellerseller shaft?
이 공간은 시간이 멈춰 있는 것으로 보입니다. 그러니 죽음에 달하는 끊어짐이 발생하지 않고 이어져 있는 것이죠.
The Gellerseller shaft? To my relief, Faust managed to correctly figure out what's going on, like her usual self, even if it took her slightly longer than it usually does. Hey, what'd I say? We got this.
뭐라고 했어?
Selling girls. Oh, nothing. But I've forgotten that not all sinners were content with nodding along to whatever information Faust told us. It was actually, Bucko's gonna be the one because he's actually a genius, right? And the real deal. Bro ain't got a Wikipedia in his pocket.
시간이 멈춰 있다라.
She's like, oh shit, I'm about to get exposed. Isan grew pensive, seeing that Faust's lips parted for a moment before closing shut. I was starting to get a good read of her expressions. That was an unmistakable look of regret, however short-lived.
이 차원 바깥에서 바라볼 때는 멈추었다고 느낄 정도로 시간이 아득히 느려져 있다. 그렇게 볼 수 있지 않겠는가?
네. 이상 씨의 의견이 합리적이겠네요.
파우스트 씨가 틀린 적도 있으셨나요?
Uh-oh. Wow, Yi-sang sure is the expert when it comes to time-related phenomena. Can you summarize it in an easier language now that we're broaching the subject?
오, 그래도 되겠는가?
Yi-sang began to elaborate with gentle enthusiasm. That was close.
간단히 풀어 말하면 이 열차에는 죽음이 존재하지 않소.
너무 생략한 것 같은데.
아, 말을 얹자면
정말이군. 이자 심장이 뛰고 있네.
Don Quixote lowered her head and listened closely to what appeared to be a dismembered torso and shouts with relief.
이들은 퍼즐 조각이 여러 개로 나뉜 것처럼 단지 활동할 수 없는 상태로 나뒹굴고 있을 뿐이요.
That's where the cleaners come in and scoop them back up, yeah. Ping! What is he? Reparo. Hit him with a reparo, yeah?
몸이 분리된다는 과정은 진행되었지만 이 열차의 존재는 보존되고 한없이 유예되므로 그저 한없이 가늘어져도 끊어지지는 않는 생명만을 붙든 채 이리 널브러질 뿐이지.
어려운 말은 잘 모르겠지만 아무튼 죽지는 않은 것이군.
이들의 파편이 연결되어 있다는 것은 아무리 뒤섞여 있어도 결국 파편끼리의 실타래를 따라 모아보면 승객 하나하나를 특정할 수 있다는 뜻이겠죠.
Oh, so that's it. Because I was thinking that before, like, what happens if somebody just gets, you know, blown to pieces, but there's somewhat slightly connected?
자연스럽게 W4의 정리요원이라는 직책이 생긴 이유를 추론할 수 있겠습니다.
누군가는 이 퍼즐들을 조립해서 구별해둘 필요가 있을 테니.
It's really baffling to me that a job like that even exists.
날개에 사는 일치고 심하지 않은 게 어디 있겠어?
Still, I guess that means that as long as the train arrives at the station, the passengers will all be put back together, like nothing happened. And while I learned through the W Corp identities, their main job was to gather chunks of flesh together to bring them back to their original shapes before they boarded the trains. It's a lot more visceral when I have to look at it in person.
그거
Is that when you weigh yourself after you get off the train and you're like, bro, I lost 5 pounds on the train. Alright. Yo, Wiseman, what's up, man? Welcome. It soon clicked in me what Faust was, though with some awkward effort trying to do as I watched Don Quixote sigh with relief. Maybe Faust was trying to cheer Don Quixote up in her own way. Who she was a while ago would not find it even necessary to do something like that.
Dante.
Huh? What's up? Oh, time to whisper, right?
네, 정보를 수집 중입니다.
Well, if there's anything I can tell you... Faust cast a dark gaze toward the chunks of flesh. Her gaze remained fixed upon them as she whispered.
이들이 뒤틀림인지 혹은 환상체인지 아시겠나요?
Oh, yeah. I actually want to ask you about that. They weren't humans, that was for sure. From them, I felt the same sensation I felt from monsters. Something inexplicable, an unclear sensation, or an aura. I'd felt this somewhere before, I'm sure of it, but I couldn't quite pinpoint the source of this sensation. One thing I do know for sure is that this sensation was not the same feeling I got from abnormalities, distortions, or even the... I was just about to say, and the pecula, but I guess not. If I had to lean one way or the other, I'd say they're Closer to distortions. I'm sorry. I don't think that either of those.
확신할 수 없는 건가요?
Is it difficult to be certain at the moment? Again, I'm not sure how I can explain this, but they're very, very similar to distortions, but also different. If you had to ask, then I'm gonna guess Faust doesn't know.
파우스트라면 알고 있을 수도 있겠지만 적어도 지금의 저는 알 수 없군요.
So she's saying ChatGPT might know, but I don't. I feel like I should apologize for that.
그러실 필요는 없습니다, 단테. 불확실한 정보지만 그 덕에 한 가지 추론에 도달할 수 있었기 때문에.
Okay.
그리고 직접 정보를 수집하며 논리적 결론을 만들어내는 것도 예상보다.
She paused, holding a bloody, slimy chunk of flesh in her hands.
쟤 지금 살 좀 조각 들고 혼자 웃은 거야?
드디어 각성한 것인가?
She like one of us. One of us. Enjoy it, girl.
확실한 승리였어요. 돌아가면 저번처럼 홈파티라도 할까요?
Multi-crack office. Oh, he's playing a bit of lobcore, was ya? Oh, he hasn't a good time. After a round of intelligence gathering from Faust, we open the door to the next cabin, only to be greeted by a loud commotion.
저희 외에도 생존자들이 있는 모양이네요.
There's a lot of bloody there.
위험에 빠진 승객들인가 보군. 이 몸이 그 중에. 워 함부로
어이사?
들어오지 마. 너희 뭔데?
This is a chick. I was saying, for a boy, sounded like a chick. Right, it's a chick, right? Because he said he. When we spoke to him last time, yeah. Four-armed woman suddenly jumped in our path.
갑작스럽게 튀어나오는군요.
Faust stumbled a little, inadvertently slapped by the figure's swinging arms as she pushed us away.
내 쪽에서도 당신들이 갑자기 튀어나온 거거든.
I do like the design though. It's cool.
좀 위협적이니까 그 커다란 칼은 치워주면 안 되나?
위협은 무슨 위협? 저기 저 사람들 지키려고 들고 있는 건데. 뭐야? 요새도 그런 90 생체형을 달고 다니나? 나 참.
아이씨, 구식의 때론 제일 빛을 발할 수 있다는 걸 보여주랴?
그대 폭식을 보아하니 북부의 사람인 게로군.
아이, 이 와중에 무슨 오타령이야! 아무튼 이쪽이나 그쪽이나 같이 그 사고에 휘말린 상태 같아 보이는데 비켜주지?
I love the sound she makes. Faust has this idea in an Uptisaurius one, yeah. She seemed to be sizing us up for a moment.
너희를 뭘 믿고 이 안으로 보내줘? 안 물렸다는 증거 있어? 내가 이곳을 어떻게 지키고 있었는데.
You ain't bitten. See some zombie shit.
물렸다니 뭔 소리야?
왜 아무것도 모른다는 표정이지? 일반실에 있었으면 분명. 잠깐. 너희 1등석에서 왔어?
네. 캡슐에서 방금 깨어난 상태였어요.
보기에는 1등석이라.
She basically said you all look too poor to be in first class. Or to be in first class, right? Pretty much. Pretty much. Adeptus Mechanicus. With the arms, right?
내 이름은 사샤. 멀티그렉 사무소 대표야.
With that, she lowered her weapons and allowed us to pass.
사샤, 당신도 이 객실에 계속 계셨던 건가요?
뭐 그렇지.
지금
우리 해결사 사무소에 T사 쪽 의뢰가 들어와서 잠깐 넘어왔는데 열차가 이딴 식으로 고장난 데다 아니 고장난 게 맞나? 배고파지지도 않고 졸리다는 느낌도 잘 안 드는 것 같고.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. You don't get hungry or sleepy, do you? So you're just constantly awake for such a long time. YT experience. YouTube's been rough recently, Mechanomaly. It's doing it for everybody. It's been a bit of a buggy mess, to be fair. Yeah, ad experience is better. The ad system sucks on Twitch, man. Yeah, it's an annoying thing that YouTube's been doing recently. I'd crack Faust. Perfect recipe for insanity all the time, right? It's almost like they want people to. I wonder if there is something with the trains that's not unlike shit, was the court K Court, right? It was Cape Court, right? You know, with and they had the eye absorbing all the horrific things. Is there something there? Is there some sort of potential monitoring devices going on as well?
의체인데도 그런 게 느껴지셨나요?
아, 먹고 자는 게 취미라. 그쪽은 특별히 신경 쓴 부품이거든. 잘 느껴지지?
그것보다 그 밖에도 일어난 일이 있지 않나요?
Did she just have a stomach then?
아, 그래. 완전히 난리도 아니었다고.
정신 사납군. 출삭되지 않고 말할 수는 없나?
팔이라도 덜 휘적거리면 좋겠는데. 그건 좀... 싸우다가 의원이 전부 부서졌거든. 새 의원이랑 싱크를 맞추려고 움직이고 있으니까 이해해라. 아무튼 뭔 일인지는 모르겠는데 갑자기 열차에 탄 승객들이 이 사람 저 사람
I don't know
가리지
what that just made me think
않고
of.
이상한 괴물로 변해버렸어.
I'm gonna be swinging my arms. If you get hit, you know, that's your fault. So get out of the way.
정체도 모르겠고 말도 안 통한다고.
Don't seem like they can understand us either.
다행히 나랑 저 사람들이 타 있던 칸은 괴물이 적게 나타나서 내가 몇 동강을 내버리고 여기 빈 객실로 데리고 나온 거지.
Just like people are distorted, but they're not distortions, right? They're infected with chaos. But it is. Chaos has taken a hold.
빨간색이 3,200둘.
저 승객들이 변해버릴 수도 있는데도 불구하고 보호할 생각을 하셨군요.
그거야 당연한 행동이지. 해결사들이란 선두에 서서 약한 자들을 보호하는 존재들이니.
나는 이미 승객들을 사흘 동안 지켜봤어. 그리고 지금껏 한 명도 변하지 않았고. 지금 이 객실 칸 너머는 죄다 지옥도가 펼쳐져 있는데 앞쪽으로 끊임없이 넘어오려고 하는 걸 보면 뒤에서부터 뭔 일이 벌어져서 앞으로 번졌다는 게 내 추측이야.
그렇군요.
Okay. Warp demon possession clearly.
내 이야기는 여기까지. 그래서 너희는 뭔데? 1등석 부자분들께서 어떤 연유로 이런 서민들이 있는 곳까지 행차야? 여기서 뭔 일이 벌어진다 한들 당신들의 고급스런 1등석 칸에는 아무도 들어갈 수 없었을 텐데.
저희는 W4에서 이번 사건을 해결하기 위해 고용한
해결사!
Fixers.
네, 해결사입니다.
Faust nodded reluctantly as she affirmed Don Quixote's boisterous declaration.
그 인원을 전부 1등석에? 그쪽 사무소는 돈이 썩어나나 보구만.
You could say that.
아니지, 잠깐. 그럼 W사는 처음부터 이렇게 될 걸 알고 있었다는 건가? 근데 진짜 날개의 의뢰를 받은 거 맞아? 믿음이 안 가는데.
이미 잘 아시겠지만 해결사들 간에 가장 중요한 건 계약과 그 이행이죠. 그리고 W사는 다른 날개들 이상으로 보안을 중시하고 있고요.
One of the most secretive wings. Okay.
아, 비밀 유지 서약을 했나 보군. 뭐 웨어피 협회 계열이랑 얽히면 골치 아프니까. 그래서 증거는 없다.
We got proof of that. Show her the MasterCard, I guess.
W사에서 사전에 받은 마스터 카드 키입니다. 어지간한 문은 열 수 있죠.
Faust produced a master key card from her pocket. I guess there isn't any other way for us to prove that we're actually contracted by W Corp.
카드 키? 이걸로 잠겨있던 1등석 통로를 열고 W사 로고에 꽤 고급 재질. 진짜 의뢰를 받았나 봐. 좋아, 따져 묻진 않을게. 돈도 안 되는 일에 연루되고 싶은 마음도 없고. 일을 해결하려면 뒤로 가겠다는 거네.
They're in the back.
그렇죠.
The fixer finally got out of her way. Then, with one of her free hands pointed toward the opposite door. Yeah, I was saying that. Like, I like Faust disconnected. I wonder if it is going to be that, like, a story of her proving to herself and everybody else as well that she can. Well, not to everybody else because they don't know, but I guess to herself that she doesn't need the Gellerstella shaft.
죽으러 가겠다는데 말릴 필요도 없지. 아니면 뭐 실력이 대단하면 다 구해서 돌아올 수도 있겠지만.
She has to be inquisitive now, doesn't she?
능력 고맙네, 해결사 사샤여. 이것은 자네에게 맡길 테니 부디 본인을 대신해서 이들을 무사히 지켜내시게.
저기 이 뒤에 있는 괴물들을 처리해주러 가시는 건가요?
Oh shit, there's a kid on here. Just as we were about to reach the other end of the car, a little passenger pulled on Don Quixote's coattails.
그렇단다.
She's only a little bit taller than the kid.
우와, 그럼 언니는 유명한 해결사예요?
그렇지.
Faust can't tell it's going to be probably around imposter syndrome. After seeing this and learning about the Gellerstella shaft, I'd say that's a safe bet that that's some sort of theme of that being there.
저도 언니처럼 해결사.
I've got a feeling this kid's just going to turn into a monster.
예, 너무 치근덕대면. 아우, 죄송합니다. 저희 애가.
Maybe not.
아닐세. 괜찮네. 더 놔둬도 되는데. 해결사가 꿈인가 보구나.
She's loving it, ain't she?
당신 같은 자가 열차에 탑승하고 있어서 다행이긴 하군요. 저런 어린아이도 구할 수 있었으니.
무슨 말이야?
You talk about Willis.
왜 이래, 같은 바닥 처지끼리.
Sorry, Rolls, he was messaging me. 2 secs, chat.
당연히 머릿수대로 긴급 보호비를 거두려는 거지. 왜 자꾸 둘 다 똥짠지 같은 소리야?
그렇군요.
I don't think Don Quixote needs to hear what she just said.
파우스트 씨, 다시 봤어요.
무엇을 말씀이시죠?
일부러 그런 거였죠? 저자가 순수한 마음으로 승객들을 보호할 마음은 없었다는 거 알면서도 돈키호테 씨에게 동조해 준 거요. 또다시 시끄러워지면 골치 아프겠다 싶었는데 다행이에요. 보셨어요? 눈이 얼마나 반짝거리던지. 평소에도 그랬지만 오늘따라 의욕이 완전히 넘쳐흐르고 있다니까요. 돈키호테 씨.
I'll stroll towards Sasha with a question.
마지막으로 하나 궁금한 것이 있습니다.
질문 하나당 30만 원.
같은 바닥 처지끼리 그런 판단은 유감이군요. 저희 쪽 의뢰가 성공하고 나면 추후에 W사에 적극적인 협력 사무소가 있었다고 제보해 드릴 수도 있을 텐데요.
뭐야? 진짜?
She just says we'll crash you up.
무슨 질문인데?
혹시 상대하셨던 괴물들의 눈빛이
Oh no, okay, she's just offering it. Okay. Let me just read. I felt like I missed some context there, man. I was too busy reading that text message. Okay, yeah. Suppose that someone like yourself is aboard the train. Welcome in all of a sudden. Come on, no need to keep up appearances between people in the same line of work. We just need to collect some sweet emergency contract fees from each and every one of them. Okay, so she's just making a little bit of money on top, right? Okay. Doesn't want Don to know that she's not doing it out of the good of her heart. Okay, I thought she was potentially maybe looking to grass her up for skimming some extra cash, but I suppose I ain't gonna mind. The eyes of the monsters you face red by any chance? I suppose her swinging arms for a moment upon hearing that question, appearing to either be in thought or trying to recall something, then answered.
글쎄, 온통 붉은색인 괴물이긴 했는데 음색이 중요한가? 일단 내 의안도 빨간색이고 저 승객도 눈이 적색이었고 거기 너희 쪽에 칼 메고 있는 녀석도 눈이 빨갛잖아? 이런 게 돈 되는 중요한 정보라도 되나?
아니요. 별것 아니었습니다.
House nodded lightly in her direction, then opened the door to the next car. It was just as we had feared. The scene that appeared before us looked like it came straight out of a painting of hell. Ryoshu's like, I like this one. I like this car. Oh, it's slowly getting worse as we go further. What's this then? Painting of hell.
주세 게시할게요.
Violent blood bag passenger. Aggressive blood bag passenger. Bleed makes sense. They're all about bleed, really. That's his target. Bleed. Okay. Okie dokie.
낮도 밤도 지 숨을 타도록 태어내.
So you want to make warp train passage, but the sure no way to decorate the place. I love the. It's not more so. No. It's I guess some people would say it's quaint. It's homely. It's
당신과 한없이 닮은
They put a lot of the selves into it, I guess. You know. Blood, sweat, and tears, if you will.
설령 녹아내려 추락하더라도 괜찮니? 이 노을이 식지 않도록 더 뜨겁게.
Give me more charge. I love the decor. It's modern. Literally gonna say blood, sweat, and tears. Beat you to it. Up the crack of dawn.
나갈 수 없어.
이렇게들 허약해서야.
Abit. Oh shit, looks part of. Oh my god. Is that a pelvis? It is? Pelvis, legs, and a lower spine? What the fuck?
반드시 팬다. 아비들도 거미.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
낮도 밤도 지.
I want to repass. I want to see what it does.
당신과 한없이 닮은
Dawn officers so OP in regular encounters. They are, aren't they? That's why I do want to get, like... Of course, obviously, I still don't understand the combat in this game massively, right? But I do want to, like, have some maybe, like, poison charged teams. Like, you know, some that are maybe not so, meta, if you will. You know what I mean? My favourite Kanto so far, it'd be 5 for me.
추락하더라도 괜찮니? 이 노을이 식지 않도록 더 뜨겁게.
여명의 빛.
타올라.
이렇게들 허약해서야.
Sad to focus it. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. What's up, lads? As well. Yeah, I'm thinking like
다음은 어디요?
maybe like a charge team, like specifically, and then I do want to get the Dawn office and the middle team fully built out, and maybe look for some of this like a bit more. I don't know. I still don't know what specifically I'd want. I like the idea of building a charge team though, because I don't think that's like meta right. Oh yeah, still Kanto 5. 7 will probably deploy for you, but now still one of us. Yeah, Kanto 5. Brilliant, man. Really was brilliant. I still have this video in the works, chat. I've just got to write the script. I've like kind of bullet pointed like 90% of my ideas now. I'm just going to try and do a little bit more research into because I haven't got around to reading it yet. Wuthering Heights, and then I'm going to try and script the video out if I can. Writing scripts is not my strong point though. I really struggle with it.
칼날 사출.
Charge on to Lee's Love and Hate Don and AEDD Greg. Is that the Dalek Greg?
실력을 잘 이용하지 못하셨어요.
이렇게들 허약해서야. 여명의 빛과
Going to get a House of Spiders team before the season end as well. Yeah, it's a dark one, yeah. It's like, I must admit, I think my most enjoyable character to use at the moment is the, is it the teacup, Roger? You know, with the bomb. That's fucking fun, man. I really like that, I do. Special effect if you miss it is a red warning signs lights. Little nod to the law. Don't repass on a moving train. Up next season has less hyper-focused teams like House of Spiders. Okay. There's a Tremor Teacup focused team. Yeah, I really like that, and I love the design of that Roger as well. So I'd love to see the rest of it. Oh shit. You know that video of that person getting arrested the other day that went viral? Breaking news, tourists arrested for breaking in MiHoYo ZZZ dev offices demanding to deflate their fictional characters' boobs and waist to hip ratio while also demanding for more metal characters. Teacup Artist broken. Yeah, she's sick, man.
어쩔 수 없어요. 저희같이 긴 무기를 쓰는 사람들은 좁은 곳에서 금방 지치기 마련이니까요.
Sure, it's a good point actually, yeah. This is not really ideal for these guys, is he? These enemies weren't much harder than the ones we'd fought earlier, but it was inevitable that their sheer number would eventually wear the sinners down. Bro, just look at this here, man. So you just won't get this in other gachas, will ya? You know? You just really won't get this in other gachas.
파우스트 씨.
Oh, I just noticed.
저들 정체는 대체
There's the pelvis,
무엇일까요?
the spine and the legs. And then on the ceilings, the rest of them. Oh, shit.
그래, 나도 아까부터 궁금했다고. 왜 안 알려주는 건데?
저것들은
저것들은
Planning to do it in one sitting. I don't know, do you reckon we can finish it in the next 30 minutes to 40 minutes? 50 minutes maybe?
어떤 존재라고 생각하시나요?
네? 그걸 방금 제가 물어보지 않았나요? 아니면 설마 저희에게 먼저 생각해볼 기회를 주시는 건가요?
Of course, Faust did not confirm nor deny his question. Sinclair was perfectly capable of making up his own interpretation of her silence. I'll say they'll take this as like, ooh, you know?
여러 번 싸워보니까 알 것 같은 건 있었어요. 이 괴물들은 저희에게 화가 나 있거나 방해되는 존재라서 덤벼드는 느낌이 아닌 것 같아요.
맞네. 이들은 굶주리기라도 한 듯 뭔가를 향해 맹렬히 돌진하고 있었네.
맞아요. 이 열차 안에서는 배고픔도 목마름도 느껴지지 않을 텐데.
Right there at the end by that time. Well, there is. This is fairly short intervallo. Ruin a chapter that folks on the warp train actually scared and nauseated me enough to stop playing. Haven't picked it back up yet. Might do have to. Oh, really? Okay. 5 more notes, right. Maybe then, maybe. I don't want to rush it though.
공격 패턴이 이성적인 판단에 기반하지 않았다. 그저 본능적인 공격성을 우리를 향해 발산하고 있다고밖에 해석되지 않는군.
그리고 또 뭐가 있었죠?
그리고 또 모든 눈이 붉었던 것 같아요.
신체 대부분에 붓지 않은 곳이 없었어.
냄새는 피 냄새다. 피로 만들었겠지.
She's smiling. She's having the time of her life, yeah.
그러하다면 피가 굳은 결정화된 느낌이라고 해야 바를 테지.
네, 감사합니다. 모두들 유용한 정보였습니다.
It's my turn to start whispering. What did you learn from that?
이번엔 운이 좋았습니다, 단테. 열차에 탑승하기 전 다음 행선지를 위한 정보를 열람하던 도중 곁다리로 읽어둔 지식이 쓸모있는 열쇠가 되었던 것도 있지만 단테의 조언대로 수감자들 또한 유익한 정보를 추려내는데 큰 도움이 되었습니다.
You mean you know what to do to blow this case wide open?
그렇게 장담할 수는 없습니다만 적어도 시작점으로서는 기능할 테죠.
With that, Faust turned around and faced the rest of the sinners.
지금부터 이 상황을 타개할 방법을 제시하겠습니다.
응? 그냥 쭉쭉 뚫고 가는 것 말고도 뭐가 있는 거야?
그 자체는 바뀌지 않을 테지만 결과적으로 이번 의뢰의 목적이 무엇인지 그리고 어떻게 W사의 의뢰를 완수할 수 있는지에 대한 가닥을 잡을 수 있을 겁니다.
Okay.
이번 열차 그리고 지속적으로 워프 열차에서 비슷한 사건을 일으킨 존재는 매우 높은 확률로
A blood fiend. The fuck, that does sound like someone tied to Warhammer.
확실한 승리였어요. 돌아가면 저번처럼 홈파티라도 할까요?
Blood fiends.
반드시 팬다. 아비들도 검.
Wait. A blood fiend? What's a blood fiend?
혈기가 대체 무엇인가?
What in the name of wings is that?
네가 모를 줄은 몰랐는데 이런 신기한 거 관련이라면 뭐든지 알고 있는 줄 알았어.
듣도 보도 못했다만 본인이 잊은 기사라도 있던 것인가?
Don Quixote, for her brows genuinely lost. It was though the very words sounded alien to her.
저도 현실에 존재하는 줄은 몰랐어요. 그저 무서운 이야기로 만들어졌다고 생각했는데 마늘이랑 햇빛을 두려워한다고 하던가요?
Afraid of garlic and sunlight. Is it like sort of a pseudo vampire or something?
아, 제가 들은 이야기랑은 좀 다르네요. 제가 듣기로는 햇빛이나 마늘은 뜬 소문이고 오히려 물을 무서워한다던데요?
혈기에 대한 보고는 나도 받아본 적 있다. 지휘관이던 시절에 말이지. 그들이 부린다는 부산물 도 본 적이
The
있다.
dregs that they command.
기억이 흐릿하지만 이런 형태는 분명 아니었을 텐데. 손가락에도 혈기라는 놈이 있었지. 저런 고무장갑 같은 것들을 부리진 않았지만
Was a blood fiend among the ranks of the fingers?
하지만 좀 걸리는군. 그놈은 이렇게 마구잡이로 찌꺼기를 늘리진 않았다. 내 놈도 알고 있지 않나?
네, 수감자 내에도 경험한 분들이 있었군요. 설명이 길지 않아도 되겠습니다. 말씀하시는 대로 저희가 마주한 적들은 혈기 그 자체는 아니라고 보여집니다. 혈귀의 권속이 되지 못한 찌꺼기 같은 존재. 관계자 사이에선
Blood bags.
피주머니라고 부른다는 정보가 있었습니다.
Yeah, we saw that.
그럴듯한 이름이지.
Why would anyone name someone Bloodbag?
처음에 이야기했던 대로 통상적인 방법으론 워프 열차 내에서 승객이 사라질 수 없습니다. 워프 열차나 W사에 대한 모든 것을 알 수는 없어도 저희가 갖고 있는 정보가 꽤 많음에도 예외를 찾아낼 수 없었죠. 거기서 저는 아직 저희가 한 번도 마주하지 않았던 존재를 논리 안에 끼워 넣었을 때 한 가지 추측이 성립된다는 걸 파악했습니다.
Okay.
그럼 그 혈귀라는 곳은 승객들을 아예 없었던 것으로 만들 수 있다는 이야기인가요?
휘발된다는 쪽에 가까울 것 같군요.
Dissolved or vaporized? I was thinking potentially consumed.
휘발.
워프 열차는 승객들끼리 온갖 폭력적인 일을 벌이더라도 본래대로 돌려놓을 수 있습니다. 폭력이라는 것에는 여러 가지가 있겠지만 그중 식인도 분명 존재하겠죠.
Oh, okay, so yeah. Alright.
하지만 열차 운행간 시간이 유예된 승객들은 소화의 과정 또한 이루어지지 않는 것과 마찬가지일 테니 결국 복구할 수 있는 상태였을 겁니다.
Oh, then I could be right, right? They're consumed. If that thing can consume in this, if it somehow can, it makes sense though. So that they eat it, it just literally sits in the stomach. Nice. They just have a stomachache for the next 2,000 years.
그저 입에 쑤셔 넣었을 뿐이라면 뱃속을 갈라내 그 핏줄 같은 것으로 연결된 조각들을 맞춰볼 수 있었겠지.
하지만 피주머니들은 다릅니다. 맹목적으로 피를
So, like,
찾아다니는 이들은 희생자의
in the
혈액을
easy parts of people,
흡수함으로써
they have that bit coming
자신들의
out the
존재를
mouth.
유지할 수 있고
The connective tissue.
유지비로 혈액 또한 조금씩 소비한다고 합니다.
방금은 소화는 하지 않는다며?
추론해 보자면 혈귀와 피주머니에게 혈액은 단순히 에너지를 얻기 위한 식사의 과정과는 다른 것 같습니다.
Okay.
그들에게 혈액이란 감정, 성취, 돈, 존재의 자신들을 유지하기 위한 많은 것들이 포함되어 있는 무언가. 그렇기에 마음 먹는다면 혈액을 소비할 수 있고 소화 따위의 과정과는 별개로 이루어질 것입니다.
To them, blood is a culmination, an entailment of something that forms the self, including but not limited to emotions, ambitions, wealth, purposes of existence. Then it must follow that they can spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from other biological processes such as digestion.
뭐냐? 무슨 소리인지 절반도 못 알아들었거든?
지금 시간이 유예되었음에도 히스클리프 군은 화를 내거나 슬퍼하거나 또는 기뻐할 수 있지 않은가?
So it becomes more of a So is it a literal consumption then, or?
어? 그야 뭐 그렇긴 한데.
그것이 변한 것인지 생멸하는 것인지는 알 수 없으나 지나간 감정은 사라졌다고도 볼 수 있을 터.
Okay.
승객들의 살아갈 의지와 존재의 가치 또한 멈춘 시간 속에서도 점차 사라지지 않소. 혈귀에게 혈액이란 그러한 것이라고 파우스트 양은 설명한 것이요.
Right. Okay. I think I get what he's saying there. I think I get what he's saying there.
그래서 바로 휘발된다 이거구만.
승객의 구성 묘소. 살점들과 이어진 혈액도 사라져서 살점을 끌어모을 수 없을 거고요.
논지에 어긋남은 없군.
Oh, excuse me. Everyone fell silent for a moment. It was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either. There was a lot. It was a lot. I must admit. So, they're obviously consuming the blood, but not necessarily in the sense of a biological consumption, right? It's almost evaporating into the ether and then being consumed through an emotional source, I guess. That's in a physical sense and more in a, well, I guess in an emotional sense. So in a way, like what sits, aren't they, from What We Do in the Shadows? You know? It's what is it, the fucking, what's the bald one now? He's an energy vampire. He just, you know, where they're just like, literally freaking, suck people's emotions dry by just draining them. By just being incredibly tedious. Yi-sang was the first to break the silence.
피주머니라 하는 존재는 혈귀가 직접 만드는 것이요? 만약 그렇다면 어떠한 방식으로?
I do plan to at some point, firm fella. I bought them.
제한되었군요.
While supplies avoiding Yi-sang's gaze. There isn't anything I can do about this. The sinners will only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust. And that's something we both want to avoid.
제한. 아, 그렇군. 과거 그대가 말했던
추측이지만 피주머니로 만들기 위해서는 어떤 식으로든 접촉이 필요할 것으로 보입니다. 그렇지 않다면 가장 성가신 존재인 저희가 멀쩡한 것이 말이 되지 않을 테니까요.
She did mention about being bit as well, didn't she?
그렇다면 그 잔악한 혈기란 놈은 이 열차 어딘가에 숨어 있다는 말이겠군.
I don't know if that's being bit by the bags. Probably, isn't he? Rather than the fiend itself. Is that just a whole body there stripped of its flesh? I think it is, yeah.
그렇겠죠. 조금 전에
Yi-sang is 100% figured out to googling everything. I think he's
피주머니들이 몰려온 건
it appears so, doesn't he?
북한부터.
The Horde.
즉, 나아가다 보면 반드시 그 혈귀를 마주하게 될 것입니다.
좋네! 무고한 승객들의 원한을 대신 풀어줄 기회! 본는 절대 놓치지 않겠네!
단테.
It seemed that Don Quixote was now invigorated, while the other sinners also appeared rather satisfied now that we had a clearer sight of our goal. Faust, who stood amidst them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go. We're making the best of what's available to us at the moment. Let's move forward for now. Yeah, I do plan to play the older games, yeah.
이 궤적을 보고 또
Man, I'm hungry, you know. I'm so hungry.
당신과
I had a small meal today. I only had chili that Rosie made yesterday with some rice. It was only a small bowl. Trying to be good.
이 순간이 다하도록 베어내리라. 낮도 밤도 지 숨이 다하도록 베어낼 것.
설령 노간이라 추락하더라도 괜찮니?
칼날 사출.
No horses, how hungry.
뜨겁게.
Well, I would say I could eat an oss. I don't know if I'm that hungry, but I'm pretty hungry.
이렇게들 허약해서야.
선배를
스승님을
내
행복하게
앞을
할 수
막을 자는 없어.
Yeah, I plan to. I'm definitely gonna play Ruiner.
꿈을 나를 받았다면 그 어떤 두려움도 저를 도망치게 할 수 없을 거예요.
배워냈으로 낮도 밤도 지 숨을 다하도록 배워냈군.
새벽녘. 자네 많이 지쳤군.
제가 볼 나쁘진 않았습니다.
이렇게들 허약해서야.
다음은 어디요? 나비가 날개짓 하는 실력을 잘 이용하지 못하셨을 뿐.
You know, Sean Chiverton, known as Ajahn Jayasaro, has been promoted the title of Supreme Monk from the Isle of Wight to become the first foreigner to reach the second highest rank in Thai Buddhism. Kind of cool.
칼날 사출.
Yeah, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play LobCorp as well, bro. I think I'll probably enjoy Ruiner more. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I'm gonna check LobCorp out, and I don't judge a book by its cover, but I honestly don't know if the gameplay loop's going to be something that I really enjoy. Like, if I'm honest.
다음은 어디요?
이렇게들 허약해서야.
But I said the same about Arknights. I don't like tower defense games, and I enjoyed it. You know, so maybe.
확실한 승리였어요. 돌아가면 저번처럼 홈파티라도
Cleanup
할까요?
agent. The cleanup agent.
주세.
In fact, blood from gaping wound in the train does not get separated from your body. It stays on the body. I think you should prioritize Ruiner mostly for Soru.
여명의 빛과 같이.
낙인을 새겨드리죠.
이 순간이 다
Oh, can't stop yawning, man. That's the only fucking thing with the AC. I might turn it off, actually. I've got my hood on like it's fucking cold. But the AC on, it always makes me yawn. Very funny to think to, but long term later I might probably be a bit too much for some. Yeah, I don't know. I do like depth and stuff. It's just, I don't know if the actual gameplay loop itself will be for me. But again, I might. We'll see, we'll see.
나쁘진 않았습니다.
Currently playing through Ruiner. My opinion, Limbus story is better, but Ruiner's better world building.
배워내리라.
LobCorp, you already know the full story anyway, so we just be up. Yeah, yeah.
낮도 밤도 지 숨을 다하도록 배워냈군.
선배를 스승님을 행복하게 할 수 있다.
칼날 사출.
Scary thing about warp trade is that even if you somehow remain sane for billions of years, you can't. Exactly right. It's
많이 지쳤군.
It's kind of crazy, man. Like, when you think about it, obviously the warp in 40k is horrific, but this is like horrific in a different sense. You know, potentially spending thousands of years cramped up in a place where you can't sleep, eat, die, around people who are just gonna lose their head. Sounds like hell to me.
무섭고 겁이 나. 그럼에도 멈추고 싶지 않아.
나머지는 제가.
Of course, Spirit Time is just doing everything for 100% takes a lot of effort and soft resetting. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like the day replay stuff and that like you say, the reset stuff that I'm like, I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. We'll choose a LobCorp remake.
이렇게들 허약해서야.
마저 태우겠습니다.
역시 우리 사무소의 자랑이야. 자네 많이 지쳤군.
I do really like this Dawn Office Gregor, man.
여명의 빛과 같이.
Hey, what's up, Engie? How's he going? We don't need a LobCorp remake, let's focus on Limbus content. Don't worry, it's only 2/3 year, but that's more than enough time. Human mind is far more fragile than many may believe.
전부 펼쳐낸.
Oh, for sure. Like, when you think of our existence on average, what is it? Something like 82 or something? The average human lives to?
이 사람
That's your entire existence. We can get bored without the internet for half an hour. Just imagine 2,000 years. You know? Since the fall of the Roman Empire, you'd be sitting in a box with a bunch of other sweaty people doing the same thing. Probably after a stressful day, anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good time. At all. Oh, somebody's alive. Don Quixote, her round eyes wide open, began sprinting somewhere.
뭐야? 들어오지 마 이놈들이! 이봐, 우린 괴물이 아니야. 괜찮아?
당신도 변하기 시작한 건가요? 그럼 벌레 팔 같은 걸로도
Oh shit, my poor Gregor.
뭐? 아니야, 이제 이거는.
Gregor stumbled for words, scoffed, and cast his gaze towards the floor in disbelief.
그래, 뭐 착각할 만도 하지. 이게 뭐 의체인지 괴물인지 한눈에 봐서 알 수가 있나.
같은 생체형 의완이더라도 이렇게 투박한 구형 모델은 최근 도시에서 보기 드물기 때문에 착각할 수도 있다. 의체. 다행이네요. 전투가 미친 놈들이 쳐들어올까봐. 보다시피 다리도 이 모양이라 여기 숨어 있을 수밖에 없었거든요.
So, like, if he's injured like that as well, dude, you'd just be in that state for a long-ass time, right, as well?
그런데 W사 직원들이 이 열차에는 왜 타고 있는 거지?
You're right. From what we found out about the warp trains through the identities, I can't imagine why any of them would ever willingly board this train.
외부 의뢰로 온다던 해결사들이죠. 저희는 당신들을 도와서 사건을 해결하라는 명령을 받았습니다. 저희라고 하기엔 저밖에 안 남았지만요. 동료들은
So really, when you think about it, in the warp train, although I know guns are not accessible like that in this world because of the expense and stuff, I don't know, maybe another way you could do it would be to just be like, you know, and then just wake up once the fixture. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like cheap first class tickets, right? Just come in with a tool to kill yourself. You know? Remember someone had a hangover when they got on the warp train. Oh, God. Oh, that's rough. Would you still be conscious then? Because that's what I was thinking that earlier. You know, when Don said they could feel the heartbeat of them people who were pretty much dead. I'm like, are they conscious to what's going on then? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's bad then. No, I know it wouldn't kill ya, but like, well, it would in all technicality, but like the way it works in this is slowed down to a point where you wouldn't die, so to speak. But I'm thinking if you're unconscious, then, but if you're still conscious, then yeah, it's a bad idea.
파우스트군, 피주머니가 원래대로 되돌아갈 수 있는 방법은 없는 것인가?
죄송합니다. 그 정보도 아직 열람할 수가 없군요.
Though her voice and expression were both as serene as always, there was something gloomy about the way she said it.
파우스트에게 너무 많은 부분을 의지하고 있었을지도 모르겠군요.
Yeah, I was thinking this might be sort of the angle for this story for Faust. House muttered in a barely audible volume. Not what I could do to help the sinners in a situation like this, either. And also grow too used to Faust's omniscience. How do you pronounce that now? Omniscience, yeah. I always struggle with omniscience. Yo, Master, thanks for the sub. Because I could always trust it to be there for me. I was starting to realise that I don't have the means to dig myself out of a hole like this. No. Maybe I was too reliant on the sinners as a whole. If, when the time comes for them to depend on me, when they can no longer stand on their own, can I really manage them? Lead them to the right choices? Doubt coloured with fear begins to rise like an ominous plume of smoke. Time for science.
뭐 괜찮습니다.
The agent struggled to some corner of the room with his wounded leg and pulled on a lever.
이런 공간에 잘도 저런 걸 숨겼고.
And the wall behind, where it initially appeared to be a folding chair for employees, spun open.
이게 무엇인가? 설마 저 앞에 있는 혈기를 해치는 비밀 무기가 숨겨져 있다거나?
1등석에서 본 캡슐이랑 비슷하게 보이긴 하는데 저곳에?
Chuck him in it. The clean-up agent slumped into the pod that appeared in the wall.
이제 좀 살겠네요.
무엇을 할 생각인가?
이런 상황을 위해 W사에서는 직원용 소형 동면포들을 준비해 놓았거든요.
그랬군. 그럼
그럼 남은 일은 잘 부탁드려요.
With that, he settled into the capsule and shut the hatch behind him. When the door covering the pod closed, only the folding chair and the wall covered with viscera remained. He's gone.
갔어. 가버리셨군요.
We blankly stared at the wall the agent disappeared into. Well then, I guess we gotta... Let's move on to the next car. Keep on keeping on. He's got the right idea, right, Flicks? And I'll blame him. Honestly, don't blame him.
확실한 승리였어요. 돌아가면 저번처럼 홈파티라도 할까요?
Oh, so actually, how many nodes is he? How many nodes is he? You're saying 2? Let's have a look. Let's Google. Excuse me. 6 story nodes. Do you reckon we'll be able to get it done in 30 minutes? Right, it's 4 left. Okay. Alright then. So, I'll tell you what then. So, it's not like a really odd split and we start the next stream and it's like 5 minutes and we're done. I'll say, should we call it there, right? Rather than, you know, try and squeeze in the next couple of nodes and then squeeze, you know... Like, let's, I think that's probably a good time to call it right. And then we can finish it off in the next stream, can't we? Because I don't want to rush it. I'm enjoying it. Loving the warp. Loving the designs of the warp, man. Right, we're almost done. We're almost done, aren't we? 80 left to do. Do we, just do a quick little excavations.
주소에 게시할게요.
When's Enfield 5-hour marathon? I might stream it later. Let's see, because Dragon Sword doesn't come out till midnight. Intervallos is pretty peak, to be honest. I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. I'm liking that we get. Obviously, the warp train setting's awesome. Again, for me, this is a little bit like the lake stuff, where it's like, ooh, we're getting like, you know, literal world building, like physical world building through actually going through some of the things you find in, like, obviously I was intrigued by the lakes, I'm intrigued by the warp trains, so actually actively getting to do them or go to them, awesome. But I also do really like this for Faust, because we're getting some character development for Faust here, aren't we? Which, so far we haven't had much. She's kind of been that robotic information giver throughout the game, right? Where, like, now we're getting a little bit more of the real Faust separated from her depths of knowledge, Wikipedia, if you will, whatever it is, and seeing that, like, you know, she's questioning herself a little bit. She's starting to speak a little bit more humanly, and she's also interacting with the other sinners differently. It seems like with a little bit more empathy, right? Because she doesn't have this bottomless pit of knowledge, so she's having to go through the similar sort of processes there, having to do with figuring things out on the fly, right? Where typically she'd just kind of know, but she'd withheld the information, or she'd know that she'd know. Where this is like, oh, I don't know. I need to kind of ask questions, involve myself with the other guys as well, which I think is actually really endearing to her.
전부 펼쳐낸 나비처럼.
이렇게들 허약해서야.
Remember a question by someone in Ruina. Are you the who exists outside the train for brief windows, or are you the who spends thousands of years on the train? Yeah, finishing Intervallo later and giving Enfield a full stream. Probably, yeah. Enfield really needs those 5 hours to finish it in one go. Why is that being done? Statue of Lord Nelson, his fleet command, is being removed from Chichester. Why? Enfield soon. I'm adding another distraction in a minute with Dragon Sword and potentially Morriman soon. That's 14. The Golden Age will return again. Don't worry.
나쁘진 않았습니다.
이렇게들 허약해서야.
그려낸 대로.
I like Morriman's combat. Yeah, it looks cool, man. I've been meaning to play for ages. It's like AEF and Limbus. I must admit, it's been nice just kind of concentrating on Limbus and Enfield recently. Obviously, I want to get back on Arc Knights as well, but less is more in the gacha space, man. For a while, I was like, I need to be logging in as many different gachas and trying to keep up with the Joneses, but I wasn't enjoying any of them. I'm actively enjoying this in Enfield at the moment.
전략을 잘 이용하지 못하셨을 뿐.
Think about it. The time spent outside the train by the average citizen resident is microscopic compared to the compounded countless thousands of years accumulated lost time on the warp trains.
이 궤적을 보고 떠올려주게.
I wonder if any employees of like higher ups have ever experimented and been like, right, have access to a bunch of tech. You're taking there, you know, a wealth of information, things to play around with to keep your mind going. Maybe the ability to periodically hop in and out of the stasis, because at least when Gregor came out of the stasis, he seemed, you know, sort of like, you know, he was yawning and stuff, wasn't it? Like he'd almost got a bit of a rest, and that they'd tried that, you know, spent time on him. But still, it'd be horrible because you, like, not having the pleasure of being able to eat or drink would suck, right? Well, I suppose you could, but you wouldn't digest it right. So you could only do it once or twice, I would imagine, otherwise your stomach would be full of crap. But then, like, I think to keep your memories, like, you wouldn't be able to eat right. Because, like, with the memory thing, don't they have to reset your physical state as well?
순조롭게 끝났군요. 꽤 고생할 것이라고 생각했습니다만 여러분들이 하우스가 생각했던 것보다 유능했던
I finished my first and Kefalin event, guys. What did I get there? What was that?
이번에 회수하도록 할까요?
Where does that go? Will it just be in my? It was something like this, wasn't it? Oh. Ooh. I like that. I like that as well, actually. I think I need to keep my what's it though. I need to keep my Ryoshu. Oh, we got Dawn. Let's go. Yeah, it's still weird that I got this, isn't it? It's really odd, that is. Yeah, alright. Is it the roof stop left I want to go? Ah, here we go, the borders. Nice one. I like that actually. Maybe I might change the... Ah. I might use that for a bit actually. I might use that for a bit. Kind of like that. I want to eat Vroom Vroom. Yeah, actually, I'm going to keep that. I want to eat Vroom Vroom. Yeah, we'll keep it. I know, yeah, I wish I had started in the collab. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tempted to pull. Chat. 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 You reckon chat? Just one last 10 bang. One last 10 bang. Yeah? One last 10 bang chat? Go on then. You guys twisted my arm. Let's do a 10 bang. Cheeky temple. It would be nice to get that done, actually. Oh.
탄 일발 장전. 탄화는 로지가 아틀리에제 고속.
Oh, sweet.
좋아.
Got strapped up heat.
준비 끝.
Full stop office fixer. Let's go. I like this design in this one. I like the design in this one. Big gun boy, yeah. Alright. Worth a temple, chap. Let's go. Oh, I'll take it. Can't complain there. Alright then, guys. We may as well call it there now. It's quarter past. I may be back this evening. If not, I don't know if I'm going to be live tomorrow daytime. Do you know when I told you I'd start to do my roof? Like my brother-in-law's off work tomorrow. So like we're gonna do it together, obviously. It's a two-man job really. Decided to do it the weekend. So I'm not gonna be live in the daytime, but I may be live in the evening. So yeah. We'll sort some out. I'll let you know anyway in Discord if I'm live later as well, yeah. But yeah, we'll be live tomorrow evening. And then Friday we'll be live as well. And if the roof is fully done tomorrow, I'll probably stream Saturday as well. So yeah. Alright, and guys, I really do appreciate everybody hanging out today. It's been an absolute blast. We will continue on with the rest of the Intervallo in the next stream and see what the hell is going on, because I am very much intrigued. I'm really enjoying these so far. Still, I'd say at the minute, time-killing time for me. I'm enjoying it more. I enjoyed it more. But we got to see where things go with this. This is really good as well. Like, it's between these two at the moment. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see when we finish it off. But, guys, thank you very much. City Sweeper as well. Thank you very much for the super chat. It's very much appreciated. Shout out to everybody for hanging out. Guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream. Check out the video we uploaded earlier. I still haven't decided whether I'm just going to upload my 25-minute rant or I'm going to maybe try and squeeze it down and make it a little bit more of a concise 10 to 12-minute video. I might do that. Save you listening to me bitch about the gacha community for 25 minutes. All right, guys. Appreciate ya. I'll see you all later. Ta-ra.